It's 1028 live, man. This is bigger than live PD Nation. This is bigger than cops.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. This is Doc Skinner with 1028 Live Reborn, broadcasting from my bunker here in the White Mountains of Arizona in these United States. Tonight, I got a great show. I've got a dear friend, Suzanne Ross, who's going to be joining us here in just a bit. But I just want to say my hellos to everybody and any roll call that I got to do right off the bat. Just want to make sure we get everybody recognized and then tell you about what's going on this weekend and the following weekend in Sedona, Arizona, because Arizona is where it's at. All right, so let's see. I want to say thank you to Sweet Peas CBD Infusions Cafe. They're sweetpeasinfusion.com. They are one of our sponsors. Thank you very much. They're going to be opening a new facility in Flagstaff right next door to ASU, or Northern Arizona State University, my apologies. And they're actually going to be breaking ground, I think, in 2 weeks. So Flagstaff, look for that. Sweet Peas Infusion Cafe. Also, thanks to our sponsors, the Lodge Bar and Grill, located 857 East White Mountain Boulevard in Pine Top, Arizona. And tell them Doc sent you. Also, Jag Swag Apparel and Mystic Ink Studios, located out of Heber Overguard. I was supposed to get you guys a updated phone number tonight, and I goofed. So I'll get that to you guys tomorrow. And let's see. It's kind of quiet over here. Let me check out the tube of you real quick. All right, so I want to say hi to everybody over on YouTube at 1028 Productions, over on Twitch at 1028 Live, Periscope at 1028 Space Live, as well as on my main page at Facebook and my actors page as well. So welcome one and all. Let's see over here. There we go. All right. Where am I? Oh my gosh, I got too many screens. What I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to show you some information, and then I'm going to bring in our guest. So let me do this real quick. Screen share. Our guest tonight, of course, is Suzanne Ross, and this is her webpage, Suzanne Ross Wellness, Integrity, Body, Mind, and Spirit. And you can find everything about her, her SCISPI.tv network, her books, her shows. I mean, this is like the main hub of Suzanne Ross. So everything Suzanne Ross, this is where you go, and it will lead you to other things, including her. She does tours, and I'm never talking. Let me try that again. I'm going to have her talk about that this evening as well. So yes, so the website is SuzanneRossWellness.com. You can check out her books as well. And then let's see, where was the other page? The event that she's going to be speaking at this Saturday at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. is the Sedona UFO Sightings Conference, which is this March 13th, Saturday and Sunday. The location is 135 Shrine Road, Sedona, in Sedona. It's actually the Sedona Airport. It's a building on site, so you should be able to find it pretty easy. It's everything UFO, ET related. There'll be authors, researchers, experiencers, vendors, group UFO tour. Yes, there'll be a UFO tour. And they're actually going to do something a little different. I think it's on Saturday night, which is really cool. Michael, who's the co-producer of the event, he puts on UFO sighting tours. And normally his small tours have everybody's got level 3 military grade night vision cameras or night vision scopes, right? So not everybody's going to be able to, have those at this event. So he's devised a way where he can hook one of these cameras up, I guess up to a line to a TV or projector inside. So in case it's cold, it's too cold, and you guys want to, you don't want to be in the cold, you can sit inside, watch the big screen, and see what everybody outside is seeing. So I think that is pretty cool. There'll be live music, food, and surprises. And the band will be, there's 2 bands actually, Element 115, so all you Bob Lazar fans are going to just love that. And then also One, which I'm really intrigued and interested to see what this is all about, because Michael says it's him times 4 with an alien drummer. I don't know if we're going to be seeing like a Tupac thing at Coachella. I don't know, but I'm really, really intrigued. So it'd be great to see. Now, what's this going to cost? Well, yeah, bring some money, food, vendors, good time, but admission, folks, is absolutely free. That's right. For the weekend, it's absolutely free. You can go to SedonaUFOsightings.com to learn more. Doors open at 9 a.m. And the first guest of the night, or tonight, but also on Saturday, is Suzanne Ross. And we're going to be hearing a lot from her in just a moment. Next on that schedule at 11 a.m. to 12 is Tom Dongo. And then then we'll have lunch. I think it's a lunch break. And then from 1 to 2, Jeff Willis. He's got, I think, over 250 hours of UFO footage that's been included in the History Channel's Ancient Aliens, Disney's Race to Witch Mountain, and Dan Aykroyd's Unplugged on UFO, and many, many more. And then they somehow, I don't know what happened, but I guess they ran out of, people, and they needed to fill a slot. So they called me, and I'm going to go up on stage and, just babble away for an hour. So from 2 to 3 got me. And then from 3 to 4, Lori Wheeler. And then from 4 to 5, Dwayne Ollinger. And then our co-host from 5 to 6, michaelo'sedona. So it'll be awesome. And then Sunday, we'll have music that night. And then Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., we're going to be having a panel discussion with Q&A from the audience. So check it out. You can check it out at SedonaUFOsightings.com. All right. So now we got all of that out of the way. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you someone who whoops, what just happened? There we go. I just thought I lost all my screens. That scared me. But this woman, I tell everybody this. When she walks into a room, it's like a ball of light. Her energy is infectious. And all I can say is I love this woman dearly. And I'm so excited that she's decided to come back to my show. So please, ladies and gentlemen, let me change this screen so you can all see her as well. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce my dear friend, Suzanne Ross. Hi, Suzanne.
Hi, Doc. Oh, what a sweet introduction. I love you too. You're also a ball of light.
Thank you.
You always make me laugh.
Oh, thanks. I try. So, well, first off, you're just an amazing woman who's done extraordinary things. And I don't know where to start. We've worked on some things. I mean, and you got so much. There's just so much you do. Sometimes I like to think, I'm the Ryan Seacrest on the mountain. I'm on every show. I do it all. But no, you take the cake. You do so much, and you get out there, and you're also doing tours in Sedona. Anyway, for those that don't know who the amazing Suzanne Ross is, can you please just do a quick little rundown of all that you do?
Sure. So I've been on the spiritual path for a few decades now. And when I first started to awaken on my path, I made an intention to refine my abilities to tune in to spirit, to channel, and start to do automatic writing. And as a result, I brought in my Up trilogy. My books Rise Up, Wake Up, and Lighten Up is coming out this year.
Excellent.
I started to have events because my first book, Wake Up, was released in 2012, and I had a book launch event in Northern California, and that really triggered my love of hosting events. Mm-hmm. So when I moved to Sedona, Arizona, I started to host events, and I've been doing 2 events a year since I moved here. This is like my 12th or 13th event coming up in a couple weeks. I'm having my own retreat as well
Right?
as speaking at the awesome UFO event.
Yes, I'm actually pulling that up right now because it did not load the image. So give me 1 second. That way everybody can see what you're talking about. There we go. Okay, so click, boom. And I'm going to, this way they can still see you, but they see the poster as well as you're talking about it, okay?
Thank you.
Yes, no
Yes,
problem.
I love to host events here in Sedona. And I've tried many different types of approaches. I started out with just smaller retreats, and we did a goddess retreat and a few retreats at different conference centers. And one day I was sitting indoors in this conference center looking through the windows at magnificent Sedona, and I thought, what in the heck are we doing inside? We're in Sedona. We have to get out into the vortex. And so now I structure my events to be part retreat and part tours into the sacred vortex sites of Sedona. So yes, I'm super excited. March 20th through the 22nd, we're having our second Sedona Ascension retreat on this beautiful 10-acre property where Oak Creek flows through it and magnificent red rocks are towering over it. It's an all outdoor event. And from 9 to 1, we have presenters, performances, we have roundtable discussions, and then we break for lunch, and then people can come back and choose to go on a tour. On Saturday, we're offering a vortex tour called Tuning into the Vortex. On Sunday, it's a 5D ascension tour. And on Monday, it's a medicine wheel ceremony. I do work for Sedona Mystical Tours, and they are going to be guiding the tours during my retreat. And
Nice.
then people who choose not to go on the tours can engage in the guest panels. And so, Doc, I've been super intrigued by near-death experiences in the last several months and have connected with some near-death experiencers who've had just phenomenal experiences. And so they'll be coming out to host the guest panel and share their amazing experiences. Also, we have a contactee guest panel for people who've had contact.
Sweet.
And that'll be hosted by Yvonne Smith and Lori McDonald, 2 very well-known hypnotic regressionists who guide people who've had contact experiences into a hypnotic regression. So very exciting.
Wow. Oh, okay. Now I know, unfortunately, you can't see, but I do. Like I said, I have half the screen is you, and the other half is the poster, so we see all of your speakers. We have Maureen St. Germain. Did I say her name right?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. Actually, I have a St. Germain in my script, so I was like, I think I know how to say that one. Stands with Bear. Folks, I'm sorry, I got to stop on Stands with Bear. I love him. He is just, guys, go. And, I really wanted to go, Suzanne, but I have all these pups now. And just finding
no, I understand. I wish you could be there, believe me.
Yeah, no, it's just before I could bring my dog, but now I've got these little pups, and they are a handful, and I have to have somebody stay with them when I'm gone. So finding someone to do 2 weekends in a row wasn't easy. But we'll move on. So yeah, Stands with the Bear. Shout out to him. Kim Saib or Sieb?
Kim Sieb.
Okay. And then Nancy Rhines and Reverend John Polk. Is that the REV?
John Polk. Yes.
Oh, excellent.
Yes.
Yeah. So
thank you for going over that list.
No problem.
Yes,
let me,
people.
Yeah. So daily vortex tours guided by Sedona Mystical Tour Sessions, which is who you work with. Offered by spiritual guides, healers, and psychic guest panels and near-death experiences, as you were mentioning. And then a UFO skywatch with night vision goggles. That's awesome. I'm so glad people are doing that, doing the night vision outside, because you see so much more. But let me get the address. The address is Sedona Ascension Retreats.com. That's SCDONA ASCENSIONRETREATS.com. There we go. So, and check that out. So I'm going to actually, put this up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this smaller and leave it somewhere around here on screen. How can I do this? I'll do it like this. Bring that down. Bring you down there. Oh, can I do that? Yeah. I'm just trying to make everything symmetrical. There we go. So I'm going to leave the poster in the corner. So if anybody comes on late in the show, they can still see that and go, oh, what is that? And see the web address just fine. Okay, Suzanne?
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks so much. I just wanted to talk about a couple of those presenters, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Lowell Johnson had an amazing experience going into the inner earth of Talos in Mount Shasta. Now, he was a hotelier who found himself out of work when COVID hit. And so he was just hiking on Mount Shasta, and he decided to take a break and have some water. And suddenly, this explosion of bright white light flashed in front of him, and he felt drawn to walk into this light. And when he did, he realized that he was in a portal and there was a light being at the end of the portal.
Wow.
He walked toward this light being, and this light being invited him into the inner earth city of Talos. And they got on these two transport chairs that just plummeted into the inner earth. Wow. And they stepped out, and he was able to take a tour of the multi-layered inner earth city of Talos that so many books have been written about. Wow. And his account is just so incredibly compelling.
Wow. Yeah, man. Oh, I wish I could be there. I want to hear that story. I'm trying to think, who can I, well, I'm thinking, who can I con into staying another week?
And then Rob Potter has been to Venus. I mean, his stories about going to Venus and his out-of-body experiences, he's been doing out-of-body travel since he was like 17 years old, and he moved to Laguna Beach. And in Laguna Beach, California, he met these phenomenal people. One of them was a retired physicist. Another was a retired NASA engineer. And they were creating these devices that facilitated soul travel. And so, you know, they were using like Tesla coils to create these devices. And then they would have these Laguna Beach locals come in and, you know, just have these phenomenal out-of-body experiences and interdimensional travel. And that just started him off. Now I think Rob's probably 57, and 40 years later, you know, he has just been on a remarkable journey, connecting with many different extra celestial beings. And so that's super fascinating.
Yeah, that's not a story you hear every day. That's crazy. Well, hey, just so you know, we're being watched in multiple countries around the world, including Norway. Excuse me, Norway and Australia. A couple people in Australia. We got Dave Dennis in Australia. We have Terry Reesing over here in the States. Audrey Cuzamas and Mr. Catfish 2100. You're new. Welcome to the show. He says this is my first time here. Well, welcome, Mr. Catfish. You came on a great night. I have an amazing guest. You are in for a treat. Dave Dennis says you are blessed for having such a great event in and around Arizona. If I only lived there like an hour's flight away, but he lives in Australia. But maybe he's going to hopefully come to Arizona soon. Let's see, Mr. Catfish. Oh yeah, that's what these grays are made of: love and light. Can we talk about if that's correct or not with you, Suzanne? I mean, if they're really, can we get?
I'm not not an expert on the Greys. I'm just
Oh,
going to put
okay.
that out there right
Okay,
now.
well then we'll skip that one. But Mr. Catfish, that's a good question or good point. You would hope that they're love and light. I would pray that they are. Okay, so those are the people in the chat room jumping in right now, and I just wanted to make sure if they had any questions. So Rev, this is a story you don't normally hear, Suzanne. So you have a guy that says he's been to Venus, and this is I am really now thinking where can I crash, because I would love to come, but I've got to find sitters. If I can do it, Suzanne, I will be there. You know I will be.
Awesome. That would be amazing. I have to talk about Terry Lovelace.
No.
Do you know Terry Lovelace?
Not personally, but I'm just saying this is the first person you're talking of the list, and I'm already like, let's go. So let's move on. Let's go down the list and talk about each of these people, because if that's just one, I'm stoked. So let's go. Lovelace. Tell me about Lovelace.
So Terry Lovelace, he speaks at all the major events, Contact in the Desert, you name it. And so he wrote a book called Incident at Devil's Den. His story is remarkable. He was in his 20s and in the military, and him and a buddy thought they would just go camping on a weekend trip. And so they went to a nearby park in an area called Devil's Den, and they parked remotely because they wanted to take pictures of wildlife, and they didn't want a bunch of noise scaring off the wildlife. So they were sitting outside their tent, and lo and behold, the entire forest went dead quiet. And Terry said, "Do you notice something strange? There is no noise, where, moments prior, it was just a cacophony of, forest animals."
Right.
And so that's when they looked up and they realized that there was something hovering above them.
Wow.
The next thing they know, they're in their tent and they see all of these laser lights outside, like they're thinking they're flashlights and park rangers or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so they open the tent and they see all of these gray aliens with these laser lights walking around, and this craft parked. And ultimately they climb up the stairs of this craft. The ramp goes up and the craft takes off, and they are stunned. They literally grab whatever they can, they jump in their truck, and they get the hell out of there. On the drive, they realize they are covered in radiation burns. And so they have to go to the military hospital for these burns. And the next thing they know, who's sitting in front of them but the men in black. And he said, it's just like what you would think. These guys in black suits with black sunglasses, and they're like interrogating him and his buddy in separate rooms. They made a pact on the drive back to the base that they wouldn't say a word. They would just say, we have no idea how we got these burns. And they stuck to their story, even though they tried to play them against each other and what have you. Over time, he has never stopped being visited by these extraterrestrial beings, and even discovered that he had an alien chip implanted in him, and he has an x-ray picture of it. And his story is truly amazing.
I know you can't see me, unfortunately, Suzanne, but oh my God. This is the second guest. You've got what, 20 people here, 15 people? Oh my. Folks, if you get to Sedona, I mean, this weekend, if you can, say hi to me. I'm signing Dr. Pepper's, because I don't have books or anything, Suzanne. So they were like, you can sell anything you want at your booth and get 100%. I'm like, well, I could sign autographed Dr. Pepper cans. But oh my God, I buy them.
You
But
could flatten them so they'd be like a little UFO or something.
ooh, there we go. Get one of those people that makes like airplanes and stuff out of cans and windmills. Anyway, all right. So
Right.
what I love most about my show is it's never scripted. I usually have no idea where it's going to go, but I always end up being surprised and pleased at the end. And right now, I'm already excited and stoked about this show. We're only a half hour in. So, okay. So God, I want to talk to these people. I want to, but I'm gonna have to like have a garage sale, sell some stuff, and pay somebody. Please just stay here for the weekend. I got to go back to Sedona. Okay, all right, continue. You are blowing my mind, so Suzanne. I mean, this is how you get these people. I'm just flabbergasted. All right.
I know. I just happen to have some really great friends in the industry who I've met over time through various events. And of course, I'm always reaching out to interview people and to be interviewed. And I love networking and just have met some really great people.
That's the
The
secret.
near-death experiencers are amazing. So we have Janet Tarantino and Nancy Rhines, and they've both written books about their near-death experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Doc, I feel near-death experiences are the proof positive that we drop our body and our soul continues. And when our soul ascends out of the body, in these near-death experiences, time and time again, they say that they travel through a tunnel of light and they enter into the most loving, brilliant, radiant light. And there they just have these phenomenal experiences, some encountering Jesus, others encountering past loved ones, some encounter archangels and ascended masters, but their experiences are so mind-blowing. And oftentimes when they come back, they have special gifts and abilities. They have been downloaded with information or revelations for humanity. And it's similar, I feel, to some of the abduction experiences where people feel like they've been taken, some physically, some just out of body experiences, and they come back with special gifts and abilities and downloading revelations for humanity, right?
Yeah. I mean, it really is proof. I've had a near-death experience more than once, but one in particular where it proved there's something beyond. For me, it proved to me there's something beyond the physical realm, and that's why I'm intrigued by a lot of this, is because I got a taste of it, and it's for real. And I guess a lot of people that are skeptic, that you just die. I guess until they experience something like that, it's, I don't know. It's like something that we've been told is fake all our lives, but then we see it and it's real. I don't know. You have to experience it. Unless you're just open to the idea, then you believe that it's real. But people like them that have experienced the near-death experience, it changes you. I mean, that's why I am go all the time and eating the marrow out of life every day I can, because I know life can go that quick. I had 8 deaths in the past 3-4 months, and it makes you think. And so bringing awareness to the other side by people like these experiencers is I think is a beneficial thing to humanity. But anyway, I'm sorry, go on.
No, that's great. I love the conversation. And so they'll be hosting the Near-Death Experiencer guest panel. And one of the guests on the panel, who is local here in Sedona, named Megan, she had the most amazing near-death experience I have ever heard. And I've watched at this point, dozens.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, she saw people who had passed on that were famous, like ex-presidents, like musicians, authors, poets, like people who were renowned in their lifetimes. And she spent quite a bit of time over there, but time is elusive there.
Right,
So she
right.
may have been, out for just a few minutes, but she felt like she was over there for days on the other side. And she learned so much from these encounters, primarily her encounter with Jesus, who gave her this mission when she came back to planet Earth. And she was given gifts of psychic abilities that are off the charts.
Wow.
And so again, incredibly life-changing experiences. And that's not uncommon for people to come back with a mission,
mm-hmm.
and they change their life dramatically as a result.
Yeah. No, that's how I was. it for it not to make an impact on someone, that person's got no soul, or I don't know what. They're just dead inside, because it's like a guarantee it will change you. And usually, and it's for the better. And I'm glad, because I was a slacker growing up, procrastinator, instant gratification, do the job and work for a couple of weeks and quit. I mean, I was horrible. And then it happened to me, and I realized, wow, man, yeah, the Superman complex was gone. It's like, enjoy every moment I can. So, I'm gonna have to find a way to get there. I'm gonna have to find a way to be there, because I mean, we're on 3 and 4. Bring it on, Suzanne. You're taking my breath away tonight. Not many guests do that.
Oh, thank you, dear. And so we have our beautiful guest, Shakina Rose, who's had 3 near-death experiences. And of course, she lives here in Sedona. Prior to her near-death experience, she never sang a note. She would say, I can't carry a tune in a bucket. And after her near-death experience, up to the angelic realm, she came back singing the language of light like an angel.
Wow.
I mean, the way that she sings the language of light puts you in a hypnotic trance state.
Wow.
Like, you feel the frequency of the tones, and you can feel the energetic effect it's having on your being.
Wow. And I know that's no joke at your events, because I was at that one event, and I don't remember which lady it was, but she did something with sounds and noises and said, we're going to open up your sinuses. And then I had like a runny nose for like 4 days. I was staying with you. Remember, and I was in the back running sound, and I was running sound and video in the back. I wasn't meditating or anything. And I'm like, what's going on? Dude, my sinuses are all open. She said it was going to happen. She said before, she goes, your sinuses are going to open. And, and I was just like, yeah, okay. And it was no joke. So you bring the real deal to your events, just so people know. I just have to say that.
Thank you. And Lightstar. Lightstar speaks in several different galactic languages. It is phenomenal. She speaks in Lyran, Syrian, Pleiadian, Orion, and they all have a completely different cadence and, sounds and tones. And when she does that again, she does it for a reason. And one of them is to move through the chakras. So she actually does a chakra journey with the different galactic languages. But again, talking in this galactic language has an energetic effect on your body. Somehow it's, shifting things energetically for you in an intended way. And she's also created some beautiful music as well.
Wow, kind of like maybe like monks, the way they do their chants and hums, and can bring things to certain vibrations? Is it like that?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
There's like a vibration, a frequency, some kind of energetic effect like you might experience with the mantra.
Wow. Very cool. Does she do this just live, or does she have like a CD so you can sit at home for people that like to meditate and get into that state? Is there some, like, will she have CDs or something available, or is this just a live thing that she does?
Yeah, she definitely has CDs available.
Cool.
She's married. I don't know if they're married, but she's Stands with Bear's partner.
Oh,
They've been together
yes.
for many years.
That's right. That's right.
But Stands with Bear also has CDs, and
Yes.
Stands with Bear will definitely play his flute, and he is a rock star on the flute. I mean, he's a highly awarded recording artist.
He was huge with rock bands in the 80s and whatnot, and he just released a music video, I'm guessing 2 months ago, of his new flute song, and it was a cool video. I guess they had some drone or a helicopter come around filming. It was really neat. And I love Stands with Bear. So, all right. Who else we got? You got me I'm just like, come on, more.
Yeah, well, Maureen St. Germain is a very well-known international best-selling author and teacher. She's traveled around the world teaching her spiritual offerings, and she's written several best-selling books. And so she's, been around this industry for decades and has just profound wisdom to share on many levels. And then she always offers a meditation that will transport you. Her latest meditation is called the Golden Time Meditation, and she transports you into the golden age. Wow. And it's very powerful.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Let's see who else we got here. So we got Maureen St. James. We talked about the Reverend, Nancy, Stand with Bear. Let's see, Light Star, Larry Lovelace, and we've got a few. I'm looking at the images as they're kind of jumping around, but we're not even halfway through, folks.
Right. Well, Reverend John Polk. Right? Mm-hmm. He's going to do the UFO Skywatch, but he's the author of Blue Beings at the UFO Conference, right?
Wow.
Right? Where him and Travis Walton and Travis Walton's girlfriend witnessed these blue beings walking into the UFO Conference and trying to pay for the conference with money. Wait.
Time out. Hold on. Travis is a dear friend of mine. This is a story I am unaware of. I know of the event where Luke, his son, and him had a TR-3B flyer, but not blue aliens buying tickets to their event. Please, hold on. You got to tell me about this.
Yes, it's true. And Reverend John Polk wrote a book about it called Blue Beings at the UFO Conference. So, yes, Travis is going to be going on stage. And these beings came in to the dark room because someone was showing like a PowerPoint or something. So it was dim in the room, and they walked right up to John Polk and they were trying to hand him this money. And he's like, "Can I help you?" And they're like, "We want to pay to see Travis Walton." And he's like, "Well, I don't take money, but you can go out the doors and pay the gal at the desk." And so he goes, "Listen, I'll show you." And when they got outside and Travis was standing behind his table with his books displayed, and they came into the light, they realized that these beings had bluish skin and they looked very otherworldly. And one of them had totally black eyes.
Whoa.
And somebody made a joke and they said, "Are we feeling blue today?"
Now, I wouldn't put this past, because things happen at these events. Suzanne, I don't know if I told you this, but do you know who was at the really big celebrity that I wasn't even privy to. I did see them, but I had no idea who they were. At the very first Disclosure Con up here in Pine Top, we had Vincent Fusco appeared at my event. You know who that is, right?
I don't. I'm sorry.
He's the guy that everybody says is JFK Jr. You know, John Jr.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I have to be careful because I almost got completely whacked by the powers that be because I talked about those things. But no, he was there. And then the second year that we did, because last year we couldn't because of COVID. Did you realize that the guy that was a part of the people that stormed the Capitol with the big horns and everything and the flag, he was at Disclosure Con. People got photos with him at Disclosure Con, and I thought he was dressed up for the costume contest. I was like, oh, you're going to win. And I walked by. Little did I know, I was like, dude, you're going to Guantanamo Bay one day. Did you know that? You know?
Wow.
So, yeah, people show up. The craziest people will show up at events. I'm telling you.
Yes.
So I would not be surprised of this story. I mean, okay, so they showed up and they tried to pay. Now, let me add. Now, this is what I was visualizing when you mentioned that they were like a shade of blue. I have heard of the alien species. You're probably going to know what species I'm talking about before I will. But it is a blue species that has a skin that like shimmers in the light. I don't want to say like fish scales or anything, but it has a shimmer. Are you familiar with that species?
I'm not. I mean, but we've seen a lot of blue aliens, right?
Yeah.
Like they're depicted.
Right.
A lot of them as a bluish skin. And so they got into this conversation. And in the conversation, they admitted to being from the Pleiades. And you see in Travis's book, the book he came out with after he was trying Fire in the Sky,
right?
To set the story straight about the movie that Hollywood made.
Yeah.
And he wanted to tell the truth about what really happened.
That's how he and I met, yeah. He wanted to remake Fire in the Sky, so him and Luke came to me saying, hey, we want to remake the movie, because it was only like 40% reality, 60% Hollywood the first time, and then he didn't make as much money as he should have. And I convinced him. I was like, well, he's rewriting the script, or the story, the book, because he's adding a lot of the scientific evidence to it. And I said, well, let's just do like a mini series on Netflix that we can go more in depth with the characters, flashbacks, flash forwards. So yeah, that's how we met. Because you're right, he wants to remake it.
Right, and so as I recall, he was saying that these beings who gave him a tour of the craft were from the Pleiades. And so it was interesting that these beings that came back to see him said that they were from the Pleiades too. And one of them said that he was a shapeshifter. And like I said, the one had completely black eyes. And so this would be an AI.
Wow. So are they saying that now, that the people are the aliens with the solid black eyes are AI? Because I have heard that they're like drones that work for the bigger aliens. That's what I've heard. Same difference.
Right?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same difference.
Now this just blows me away.
AI from
When did this happen? Because I'm surprised that I haven't heard this story from them. I mean, I'm not saying. I mean, I totally believe it. But I'm just like, of course, when Travis and Luke and I, we don't really talk about this stuff. We're talking about music or other stuff. I've never had him on my show. Travis Wallace, I've never had him on my show because it's like he does it all the time, and if I had him on, we would be talking about anything but that. So, but the fact that this happened, and how long ago was this encounter?
You know what? I don't know that answer. Several years ago.
Wow.
And it was really Travis Walton's girlfriend at the time who came out publicly about it, as well as John writing the book about it.
Wow.
And so all you have to do is look up Blue Beings at the UFO Conference, written by Reverend John Polk, or you can come to the event and meet John yourself and talk to him about it.
I know. It's driving me nuts. Oh my gosh.
In any case,
do you think
we've highlighted the people.
Yeah. Go on.
We've highlighted the people, and you can learn more about everyone who's coming. Of course, my beautiful friend, the divine Miss M. I just love Megan, and she is going to give an amazing talk about soul travel, because again, she is a super psychic, and she has experienced through readings how people's soul has traveled. Also, she's had her own experiences in trance meditative states of soul traveling. And the way that she talks about it is, again, really mind-blowing. Our ability to leave our bodies and actually soul travel through the universe. And so she tells us what she's seen along the way. And yeah, all of my beautiful guests. But I want to focus for a minute on the tours.
Yes.
Because they are just phenomenal. And I am telling you, working for Sedona Mystical Tours and having the opportunity to take people on spiritual journeys out into the sacred vortex sites has been the most amazing job I've ever had in my life. I love every minute of it. And so Sedona Mystical Tours is an amazing company to work with and for, and they're going to be guiding the tours. The tour guides are all incredibly well versed on the vortex and the vortex energies, but also on tuning into the vortex. And so on Saturday, Jared Hart will be guiding a tour into the vortex, and he'll teach people how to tune in to it, and he'll explain all about it from a scientific and spiritual perspective. And then on Sunday, Kim Seeb is going to guide a 5D ascension tour. And so she'll take you into a glorious site surrounded by the red rocks and guide ascension practices, transporting you into multidimensional realms.
Wow.
And then on Monday, I love this gal, Victoria Lopez. She has sort of a shamanic feel, and she is going to guide a Native American inspired medicine wheel journey and a labyrinth journey. So it's going to be so amazing.
May I ask, what's a labyrinth journey?
So you walk around a labyrinth, and you are focused on walking into the center. And so it's a very spiritual journey in the way that as you walk around the outside, you are being guided to explore your outer life, those things in your outer life to do with who you are, what you do, where you've been, what you've experienced. And then as you move into the center of the labyrinth, you start to then go on an inward journey. And you're guided to go inward and go on a journey of self-discovery. And so by the time you get into the very center of the circle, your journey is complete. And it's very transformative and life-changing. And Victoria is an amazing guide. She speaks also in different galactic languages. She plays the drum. She's very shamanic. And so she will start to speak in like Native American ancestor language. It's intense.
Wow.
But it's powerful.
Wow. All right. Is that everybody? Did you get everybody? I think you
Anybody
did.
who I didn't get, you can go to the website and check it out. But you're in for a real treat to come to this 3-day event, and I just love it. It's all outdoors.
Now, okay, I'm this the thing you just mentioned, the maze thing. I'm seeing things that I've seen in the past at sites, at Indian sites that you go visit, and it looks like a spiral on the ground with rocks. Is that something similar to what you were talking about with the maze? Walking towards the middle. Because I've seen those, but I always wondered what those were for, and I'm just curious if you just explained that for me.
Yes, and so the medicine wheel is different than the labyrinth, right? The medicine wheel is a circle created by large rocks, and then there's a cross in the center. So,
Okay.
one line goes down the center from top to bottom, and one line from side to side, dividing the medicine wheel into quadrants. And there you experience the 4 seasons of life, the 4 directions, the 4 elements. And so that's a medicine wheel journey. And it's much more complex than that. That's just a basic overview. And then the labyrinth, like you said, is more of a circle that has a spiraling path leading into the center. And so ultimately you end up standing in the center. But you go on a spiraling labyrinth journey.
Now, is this something that is preferred to do like at daytime or at sundown or sunrise or at night, to get out what you're trying to get, the energies and whatnot? When's the best time to do these events? Or when they want to book a tour with you, let's say, would they be best to book a later in the day event or a morning tour with you? I'm learning. I'm always learning. I don't know much about this stuff. That's why I come to you. So, someone wants to take a tour with you, what would they need to do or consider?
Thank you for asking that. We do sunrise tours and we do sunset tours. But any time of day is an amazing time to go into the Sedona vortex. It truly is. And as tour guides, of course, we've identified a handful of spots that are the most glorious spots in all of Sedona. My favorite spot has a view of Sedona from the west end of Sedona to the village of Oak Creek. In a 360-degree view, you can see all of the magnificent red rock temples of Sedona. And also in these spots, you see the pure quartz crystal sticking right up out of the red rock.
That's
and
cool.
So, as you know, from visiting here before, it's a crystal temple city.
Right.
Geologists have confirmed that it is made of crystal. There is a thick crystal bed under all of Sedona, and it's just covered in this layer of red rock iron ore.
Wow, that explains a lot.
Right?
Right. I did not know there was like this. Yeah, I didn't know there was like a bedrock sediment of crystal underneath Sedona. That's really cool. Because I tell people, I was like, yeah, if you're going to come to this event this weekend, I can guarantee you there'll be a crystal on someone's table. It's the crystal capital in my book. So, wow. Okay. Where were we? We started talking about crystals, and I got sidetracked. Continue, dear.
Yes, and so if people, so for the event, people can sign up for 1, 2, or all 3 of the tours that I just described. Also, when people just come here outside of the retreat, Sedona Mystical Tours offers a wide variety of different tours, and I'm just so delighted to be a tour guide. My specialty is the Sacred Sedona Tour, and it includes sound healing and visualization, meditation. I bring my crystals and we create a shrine space, and we tune into the vortex energies of Sedona, and I take you on a spiritual journey that's custom fit just for you.
Wow. Okay. So that's nice. You customize it for everyone. So people aren't getting a spiel, basically. You're doing that. I like that. And I meant to ask before I went blank there a minute ago, was these locations, these vortexes, are people going to have to do climbing to get on top of some like big rocks to get to a certain spot? Because I notice people do that to meditate and whatnot. Or are these locations that people can walk to easily? Me, for example, I don't do a lot of hiking because of my back. I'm worried that I might, throw it out. I know these locations have got to be gorgeous. I mean, if you've picked out the creme de la creme. But people, I'm sure, want to know what are the conditions of getting to some of these locations. I mean, I know you go to them all the time, but should they wear their hiking boots or their tennis shoes or what?
For the retreat, since it's a large group going, we have chosen places that are easily accessible, but still have breathtaking views. And so, cognizant that not everyone is at the same fitness level, and we don't want to spend much time hiking. We want to spend more time in the spiritual journey.
Right.
We have chosen places that are easily accessible for anyone. So, of course, tennis shoes are better than sandals.
No, yeah.
Anytime you're walking outdoors.
Right.
But
Absolutely.
you certainly don't need hiking gear.
Okay. Well, some people, would be curious, but because there are people that have disabilities that would love to do this kind of spiritual journey. So I just wanted to point that out.
Great question.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't think about it because, out in the desert and hiking in rocks, and some people have disabilities and they want to have those same experiences as others. So I was just curious on that for this event, and that's awesome that you've made it accessible to people. What else? Okay, and what time does it start again? I didn't see a time on here on the flyer. I just see a date.
So yes, I don't have the specific times for the presentations, but if you go to the website, there's a full schedule of every speaker and every time. And so on Saturday, we start at 9. Actually, there's a meet and greet on Friday, which is really fun. So people that get there on Friday from 3 to 6, we have a meet and greet so that the speakers can set up their vendor tables, but also so that people that show up can meet the presenters in person, and everybody can mingle and chit chat and get acquainted. And I'll do an overview of the event, in person, but it's mostly for mingling, and people can check in and pre-register. And it's just a fun time.
No, that is a great idea. I think, more events should consider that option for the people that come in the day before. They're going to probably be in a new town and, have a meet. That is, I do my fireside chat at the end of Disclosure Con, but that is, you just gave me an idea there, Suzanne. That is awesome. That is awesome. I've got to figure out how I can get up there. I have got these puppies. Oh, I love my puppies. They're cute. If they weren't so cute. But
I hear you.
Yeah,
I love dogs. I love my doggies. I even hate to leave them for the day, but sometimes we have to do what we can do. But it was so great. I just remembered something special, Doc, and I just want to tell the listeners. By the way, I want to give a shout out to Terry Riesling, who you said was tuned in. Terry, I love you, soul sister. You are so incredibly beautiful, a beautiful, sweet, generous soul. And I am so delighted that you're coming to the retreat in Sedona.
Wait. Terry Riesling is coming?
Yeah.
Did you say that? Oh my God.
You said she was in the chat room.
Yes, she is. Oh my God, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, cool. Aren't you glad that people are coming back out of their little hovels and we're interacting again? It feels, that's why I've been people are like, you've been really cheerful a lot lately, Doc. I'm like, yeah, things are starting to come back to some kind of normality, being everything virtual all the time it wasn't good for our souls. We need that human interaction. So, and I'm telling everybody, Sedona's where it's at this month, folks. You gotta go check it out. All right, so let's see what else we got. I'm just gonna talk, Suzanne. You're just awesome. Go.
Right. Well, I wanted to talk about how sweet it was when you came out here for one of my events, and you were doing such an amazing job with the audio, video, but you were so concerned about my dogs. It was
Yeah.
so sweet, right? So
Yeah.
we had left our dogs at home, right? And you were doing the emceeing and audio and the video for my event, but like there was a lunch break and you're like, I have to go make sure your dogs are okay. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. And then you left right after the event when we were going to all hang out and do stuff. And you're like, no, I got to go home. And you stopped off and got pizza and food and treats for my dogs. And I
Yeah.
came home and you were laying on the floor with my dogs. And
Yeah.
just so sweet.
Oh, they're awesome. They're awesome. I am totally an animal lover. So, all right. So let's see. So you have all that going on. Oh, and I hear my little babies are chirping. They're like, we've been locked up too long. But they ate my couch, Suzanne. Brand new leather
Oh my
couch.
God.
Not just a couch, one of those that has like robotic abilities to like lounge and everything and USBs on the side. And they ate the corner of the arm. And I'm just like, I've only made 3 payments on it. You're lucky. You're so cute, puppies. Because they
Right.
were this close to meeting Jesus. So,
Oh my God. Well,
so
you know, our dog Tucker
yeah.
ate a giant couch, and I'm
Oh,
talking a couch that 6 people could sit on,
oh,
and Tucker ate it.
oh.
I mean, he chewed it to shreds. And we put it in the basement. It was shredded, and
Oh
it
my
wasn't the
God.
only couch that he ate. And then one
Oh,
night, my husband came home from work, and I had put them in his room because it was cold outside or something. I don't know. And Tucker took a big bite out of my husband's expensive mattress, and it was foam
oh.
everywhere. And Tucker almost met Jesus that night
Oh,
for sure.
you
His
know,
name went from Tucker to something that sounds a lot like Tucker.
see,
But
having unconditional love can keep you from execution. Because dogs are, if they didn't have unconditional love, oh my God, and be so damn cute and tiny. Oh, yeah, no, my mom actually said, it's just a couch. The puppies, they bring you happiness. And I'm like, but it's not happy right now. But,
right.
but yeah, no, so I have to keep tabs on them. So, yeah, I have to have a sitter that can stand them. Do you remember, Suzanne, do you remember back, as we say, back in the day, the Pink Panther movies?
Oh yeah.
And Peter Sellers played the Inspector Clouseau, and he had a butler named Cato, not the one from the OJ trial, but the original Cato, right? And he would
Yes.
always attack Peter Sellers whenever to practice on his skills. That's my 2 little female pups that I have. I mean, when they're all alone, they're ready for their close up, Mr. DeVille. They are just perfect. But you put the 2 of them together, it's Peter Sellers and Cato going at it. I mean, vicious. And but then again, they're Bijans, folks. They're awesome. They're awesome.
No.
So, real quick, can we? Because we're only gonna have a few more minutes here before we have to wrap it up. But can you talk a little bit about the SciSpy.tv network and the shows that you have?
Aw, thank you. I so appreciate that. I'd love to talk about SciSpy.tv. Yeah, so SCISPI.tv. Of course, the genre came to be in meditation, sci-spy, merging science and spirituality,
Mm-hmm.
because science has always been a huge part of my spiritual journey, particularly quantum physics. And I love even some of the biology about DNA and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
Quantum physics focused on parallel realities. And so we have a show called Beyond the Matrix, the new spirituality of multidimensionality. And we have a channel called Quantum Waves, the new science of quantum consciousness. And on these 2 channels, we have multiple shows hosted by well-known authors and speakers who talk about these subjects. We also have a channel, Angels, Aliens, and Masters. And on this show, we have Lightstar has a show, Mary Rodwell has a show, Tom Dongo, well-known people coming on and talking about angels and aliens. We have Supernatural Adventures. Wow. And on that channel, we have Brad Olson and the amazing 15-episode series that you edited so beautifully called Antarctica by Sail. I'm telling you, it's worth it to go to SciSpy.tv to watch that alone.
Yes, that was a lot of fun to do. A lot of fun. Oh, you mentioned Brad, and that when you're listening to somebody, and you're like, okay, I should have written the question down because I had it in my head, and then you mentioned Brad, and then I thought Antarctica. I remember what I was going to say. I was going to say, let me check real quick because I have completely, and I apologize to the viewers, I've neglected the chat room, but I got Suzanne Ross here, so sorry, priorities. It looks like they're just having a heyday talking to themselves, so I'm not seeing a lot of questions. They were totally spun about the blue aliens. They were kind of cool about that. Terry, of course, is in there. She says she feels so special. Both of you are just wonderful, she says. So she is watching. Yeah. Okay, so yes, you have all those channels, and it's SciSpy.tv. That's SCISPI.tv. And you can sign up for the membership there, and you get access. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. This is it. Okay, yes, I should have wrote this down. The best way, how I can explain what you're doing these days is you're kind of like the Ted Turner of spiritual science entertainment and information. You've got this huge network, the huge network of people, and you've been doing it for how long? 5, or I don't want to say. I might be insulted.
It's been a few years with SciSpy.tv now. Yeah. I started out on Voice America TV, and I enjoyed being on Voice America TV, but you had to pay to be on Voice America TV as a host. Yeah. And I just wanted to create a platform where people who had so much spiritual wisdom, amazing stories of encounters or supernatural adventures, to be able to come on the platform for free and offer, everything that they do and teach and sell, like their books, which are so amazing. And we opened Metaphysical Marketplace. How could I forget Metaphysical Marketplace?
Wow.
So my husband has become an amazing crystal connoisseur, and he's purchased incredible crystals, and we're selling them on the Metaphysical Marketplace. Cool. And so that's an awesome place to go to get really value on crystals from around the world.
Very, very cool. Well, Suzanne, it's always joy having you on. And I don't know, you didn't get to see, but I played my trailer that has all my guests, and you're in there promptly.
Thank you.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover my mug with the enlarged image of this poster, just to go over it one last time, which is March 20th through the 22nd in Sedona. And you can find out more information and the schedule at SedonaAscensionRetreats.com. It's right there in front of you on the screen, folks. And then you get to meet all these amazing people. I have got to find a way to make this happen so I can be here, because I want to meet everybody. I mean, this is going to be, yes, I've got to figure something out. So I hope to be there. But everybody, go check this out, and also check out the tours, metaphysical tours. I didn't fully grasp what you guys were doing. I thought you were like just showing. At first, I thought you were doing like what's the one like for? Not hieroglyphics, but like Indian paintings on walls. I thought you were showing stuff like that. I don't know what I was thinking, but it's totally not that. But it's even cooler. It's taking you beyond any drawings on any rock, taking you to the 5D realm. So that's really cool. All right. So Suzanne RossWellness.com is the website, right? You see under her video, and SciSpy.tv, Sedona-Ascension-Retreats. And also, you can check her out. You can meet her and see her next week or this weekend. Oh my God, it's in a couple days. Oh, it's sneaking up. This Saturday, at the Sedona Airport. It's 135 Shrine. Shoot, I had it. Hold on, what did I do with it? Shrine. Is it Shrine Road or Shrine Lane? There it is. 135 Shrine Road in Sedona at the Sedona Airport. And you're going to be kicking off the event. That one as well. You are just, you're doing it all, man. You're awesome, Suzanne. So thank you.
Thank you. You're awesome. Thank
you so much for hanging out with me tonight and talking to everybody about all this amazing stuff. I mean, you don't have a boring life, that's for sure. You have always got something amazing going on. So, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me on, Doc. You know I love you. I look forward to seeing you in a few days.
Awesome.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. Love you, Terry. Bye.
All right. Thanks. All right. I'm going to bring up the other window. And Suzanne, I'll talk to you in a couple of days. So you have a good night.
Okay. You too.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, everybody. That was my dear friend Suzanne Ross. And I appreciate everybody hanging out with us tonight in the chat room. Sorry, guys, but you guys are doing pretty well. You're all just doing your own thing. That's awesome. Where's the YouTube one? There it is. So, Dave Dennis, thank you very much. Mr. Catfish, thank you. Terry Reesing, of course, we love you. Can't wait to see you this weekend. Or no, you're going to be there next weekend. That's okay. So now I've got to find a way to be there on the 22nd. I've just got to find a way. All right. So yes, Off-World Adam says greetings. Hello. Hi. All right. So I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. And possibly, let's see, I'm trying to think. Tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah, I'm going to be getting ready to leave Friday. So I'll put together something for tomorrow. We'll come on. If not, we'll just do open calls. I don't know. Thanks again to my sponsors, Sweet Pea CBD Infusion, Jag Swag Apparel, Mystic Inc., and the Lodge Bar and Grill in Pine Top, Arizona. This was fun. Hope you all had a good time. My name is Doc Skinner, and this is 1028 Live Reborn, brought to you from my secret underground lair bunker here in the White Mountains of Arizona in these United States on this big round ball planet we call Earth, hurtling through space, chasing a gigantic ball of fire. Until next time, folks, remember, as long as we all lift each other up, we will all rise together. Now I'm going to play, and you know what? Oh my God. And I'm long goodbyes, you know that. I forgot to play the trailer for Countdown to Disclosure. For those that don't know, no, it's the number three documentary on Amazon Prime. That's right. Number 3 documentary on Amazon Prime. And here is the trailer. I'm hoping you'll hear the sound too, so we'll see. And then I'll come back and say goodnight.
I think it's terrifying. I mean, this seems potentially like one of the biggest stories of my lifetime. And I don't care if it's about UFOs or whatever you call it. Something that we don't understand is getting very close to our military aircraft.
The technologies related to energy generation should come out first.
This hybrid aerospace underwater craft is able to basically generate an electromagnetic field.
It is President Trump's belief that the United States must remain as dominant in space as we are on land and sea and the air. And your charge is to see to that mission with the United States Space Force.
There were 3 people on my team assassinated, and I was almost killed.
With a lot of people that would like to know what's going on.
It's a matter of national security.
But apparently, just recovered are off-world vehicles not made on this Earth.
The president will respond to the subject the way they want them to. There's a black box with all the technologies that would give us a civilization that's sustainable, peaceful, etc., and it's been around for decades.
Everybody's asking the biggest question in the world. Are we alone?
Look, it's just stalled out there.
The narrative that's being launched, which is a false narrative, is that we're not alone and that those civilizations are a threat. The problem is that the public has to be informed and involved.
It could be a brief statement saying, hallelujah, I'm finally vindicated.
I'm not completely convinced they're going to let this stay like it is.
But the people who are surrounding that level of our politicians and government are not told. Like the movie Independence Day, where Will say, let's go kick alien butt.
So go to Amazon Prime, rent or purchase, countdown to disclosure. It's $4.99 to rent, $9.99 to purchase, and show all your friends. Believe me, this is not a normal UFO video documentary. This is breaking stuff, folks. I mean, this is new stuff in this video that is revelations. So you're not getting that repetitive, regurgitated stuff in this movie. Check it out. It's number 3 on Amazon Prime for a reason. Get it now. Countdown to disclosure. Also, be sure on Amazon Prime, check out our show UFO Report with 5 seasons, over 50 episodes. I'm in 2 of those seasons. And check it out. And yeah, that's it. Okay, so I'm going to say goodnight. I did. I said all that. I said my catchphrase, didn't I? I'm done. Till tomorrow. Bye. Live. This is the below average Wayne's World edition of 1028 Live Reborn, where my computer is possessed for the past hour. So we have no idea what's going to happen, but gremlins are definitely afoot this evening. Now, I'm going to ask you all to do me a favor because I just can't do this crap by myself. I need you to go. I need you to go right now to your Facebook and your YouTube, and I need you to share like you mean it. I really hope you mean it, though. And, subscribe, hit the little notification bell. Be kind of cool. Love you forever. Mean it. I'm going to bring in, we got, let's see. Woo, wait. Hold on. We got double sound. That way I've got the Book of the Face here on YouTube. And I need to open up a YouTube channel so I can watch over on the YouTubes and chat with my tubers over there. So I'm going to do that real quick. 1028 Productions. That's where you go on YouTube, 1028 Productions. And there we go. Hit and enter. I'm going to go to the little dude in suit and tie, hit the live button, and then try to hit the sound button really quick so it doesn't echo. And boom, sound button, click. And then I'm going to hit the like button. That's a little thumbs up, dude. So if you want to do that too, I appreciate it. We already got 6 right now. I'm ecstatic about that. And then right next to it is that little share button. You click that, you hit the share button, pass that on over to Facebook so people can watch because we got a cool show tonight. And that's all you got to touch there. Don't have to touch any more buttons. Just don't touch the red button. All right. So we got people. Oh, wow. So the restream, we're doing restream tonight. Hence, I'm not on the ship. I'm back on the earth. On firm ground, whatever. And so we're going to pray to God that this works. So far, I've got some Facebook messages in here from Audrey. Hello. Brandon Thomas is here. True Soldier. How's it going? Terry Reesing and Michael Haskins and Bob M from YouTube. So thank you very much. I think this works. I might not have to do both screens. So let me, or you guys see, you seeing what I'm seeing? You get to see what I see. That's awesome on the side. So I don't have to. That's awesome. I'm checking off little, boxes on the, the settings and don't know what I'm doing. So that's cool. So yeah. So behave. I got my moderators out there that are like lay down the law, so my little sheriffs out there. So if you write something, it's going to pop up there. And if it shows that it got deleted, people are going to know, oh, he said something he shouldn't have said. But I'm feeling really sassy and a little ornery tonight. Don't have a medicine and haven't eaten. My blood sugars, I don't know where, because I don't have a way to read that stuff. And I'm feeling saucy tonight. So I don't know. The spirit of Robin Williams may visit today. I don't know. He does it randomly. Yeah, what do we got going on over here? So everybody's, chatting. So it's saying hello. All right, cool. That means I don't have to do two different windows. It's all right here in front of me. That's awesome. So tonight we're going to be talking about UFOs and UFO conferences, and then maybe some more UFOs. But we're going to start it off with, yes, I know I don't like doing the news, but this is kind of a big thing in the news. I'm not going to tell you where I stand or where I think you stand. You just tell me, you believe what you want to believe. That's cool. You think what you want to think. But I want to show you guys this. So I'm going to go over to, where do I need to go to this little doohickey over here? Now, this is Fox News. We got, you normally have the fair. All right. Basically, in a nutshell, the governor of Texas told his entire state, all businesses 100% open 100%, like full capacity if they want. No mask mandate. You can wear masks if you want, but there is no mandate. And so that's kind of big. Florida kind of was, led the charge on that. A lot of people have different stances on that. We're not going to get into that tonight. I'm just reporting that, hey, that happened. There you go. All right. So tonight we're going to be talking about the Sedona conference I'm going to be speaking at. And we're going to have the gentleman that's co-producer of the event, michaelo'sedona, who is going to be joining us in just a second. And if anybody would like to call in, you can. The studio line is 928-368-7929. That's 928-368-7929. Oh, shoot. Can you guys even hear me? Hold on. Let me get rid of this. Boom. At least you see me. So let me do that again. michaelo'sedona. He's the co-founder of the event. And I'm going to have to do this too. Screen share. Let's see. Screen share. Where's the screen share? Here it is. Let me go through this real quick. And then I'm going to bring him in. This is the Sedona UFO Sightings Conference, March 13th and 14th. It'll be located at 135 Shrine Road in Sedona. And it's everything UFO, ET related, authors, researchers, experiencers, vendors, groups, UFO tour, live music, food, and surprises. And here is the coolest, most badass thing about this event, ladies and gentlemen. Admission is free. Yes, my favorite four-letter F word, free. And I'll be there. So I was told that I could sell or get, what's the word? Market anything I want in my little booth and everything. And we're going to talk with him about what I think I would like to do, but I'm going to get his okay or approval on it first. So we'll do that live in front of everybody. So let me just get that out of the way. Oh, wait. Well, okay. Let me show this because I'm going to have his screen up and it'll cover it up. So let me just get this out of the way. Suzanne Ross will be there from 10 to 11. We'll talk about all these guests. Tom Dongo, Jeff Willis, some bald dude, Lori D. Wheeler, and Dwayne Olinger. I hope I'm saying some of these names. If I say these wrong, I hope Michael will correct me. And then, of course, michaelo'sedona, who is joining us right now, ladies and see, my phone does it. It always bings at the right moment. It's angels. They're angels. Michael. Oh, wait. Hold on. Where am I? Nope. Let me turn this off. Turn that one off. Turn that off. There we are. Now we're together. And we got the chat room next to us so we can read questions. So how are you tonight, Michael?
Oh, I'm doing fine, but Mr. Seven over here, you can bring wire strippers. That's the only kind. Yeah. So glad to see you, Doc. How's things hanging today?
Oh, well, we're a little late. Had those technical issues. I'm sorry about that. Normally it goes pretty good, but gremlins, they're around. But just so you know,
digital.
Yeah. And just so you know, we've got some people from around the world. We got Dave Dennis from Australia. He's here all the time. Love my Dave Dennis. Can't wait to go visit him in Australia. And I think there was one other. We got Terry Reesing, JR, Bob M, True Soldier, Brandon Thomas, and Audrey, and Stargate Traveler with Pyramid 7 as well, joining us tonight. And so, Glenda. Hi, Glenda. Sorry. And Ashley, you guys just popped up there. And Renee Cruz. So tonight, I want to talk about, well, who are you? So everybody knows what it is you do, which is really, I think, pretty awesome. And all about your event that you got coming up and the guests.
Well, it's the first time that I've had an opportunity to put my own conference together. Usually I end up going to Alien Con or Dimensions of Disclosure or Disclosure Con, even, as you recall, last time you had that there. But this time I wanted to have an opportunity for everybody, especially those that can't afford $200 tickets to go to a conference, to actually be firsthand, face-to-face, meeting the people who are the movers and shakers of the disclosure of UFOs and ETs around the country right now. So that's why I invited you, Doc, because you have the connection and the experience to make things exciting. But I've got a full day on Saturday, the 13th, which is the 24th anniversary of Phoenix Lights. And Phoenix is 100 miles south of Sedona. Right. And but Phoenix isn't really doing anything with it. But Sedona is kind of famous for not only the red rocks and the beautiful views and amazing sunsets, but UFO traffic. And I think the biggest reason is because this is a dark sky community. We don't have street lights on any of the streets except for 89A, the highway that goes through town. It's dark everywhere, and so most nights you can see the Magellanic Cloud, for instance, of the Milky Way galaxy. So through the third generation night vision, there's 100 to 200 times more stars that you see. And therefore, we can see $20 trillion of our secret space program. It's now called Space Force.
Yes. Now, you have the really cool big toys. I give you that. I can't wait to try them out. Now, I have the civilian version of night vision. It's called the Psionics, and it's full color, and it's the first generation of it. And it was my first time to truly look through night vision scope. It was actually the very first time was at the UFO conference in Phoenix 2 years ago. You were there, weren't you?
Yep.
Yeah, and they had the night vision, and I had talked to the guys at Psionics, and it's really cool. But I know you've got the real high tech stuff that can. I am just
these are the current military ground troop issue Generation 3 PVS 7 Omni 6 auto gated $3,500 goggles that we use, and on my tour everybody gets their own, so you don't have to share. But at the conference, I think this has only been done one other time. I'm going to be going outside with the night vision, and airdropping was coming through my goggle onto a 130-inch video wall while everybody is inside where it's comfy in their chairs watching the traffic as it happens in real time.
See, and that well, once I go with you and I see how you got all this set up, I'm definitely coming home and I'm doing some wiring. And I mean, I only have the first generation of the Psionics. They have another one that's a lot more high definition. But like you said, what you can see is, you said like 200 times more. I'll be looking with my eyes. Of course, don't have the best eyes anymore, but you look up, you may see a few stars. But when you pull up, an infrared or night vision scope and look, it's like they multiply, and then you see cluster. There's this one cluster I love looking at because it's so faint, but you're like, that's bigger than one star. Yep. And you look, and it's a cluster of stars way out there.
Right off of Cassiopeia, you can see the Andromeda Galaxy with these goggles.
Wow!
See at the angle that it's a flat spiral galaxy, sort of like our own Milky Way. And it's about equal in size, and it's 2.5 million light years away, which means what you're looking at when those photons hit your eyes through the goggle, you're looking at what the galaxy was 2.5 million years ago.
Yeah. Here's a technical question on recording or filming these images. if you were to take, for example, the lens and you put it at the back of a telescope, would you still have the ability to see those light layers that you would without having it go through a telescope, or does the telescope diffuse things and you're going to just...
the magnification has to go in front of the lens.
Okay.
And then the tube that's taken from the 1947 New Mexico saucer crashes, that technology, that amplifies light 1,000 times. So you put your magnifier in front and the tube's behind that, and then it goes through the prisms to reach your eyes in stereo.
So technically, looking through, I wish I meant to have my Sonics here just so I had like a display. So you have your telescope, you take this and you stick it there, or you put the telescope at the back of it.
Your telescope would go in front.
In front. That's okay.
That's what I thought. Line up with it, and that's a problem. Is because the ocular lens on a telescope is very, very small, 5 millimeters, 3 millimeters, depending on the magnification.
But I've seen the clips that you can purchase to connect to your like cell phone, so you can get images and stuff like that.
Because the cell phone has a very small lens, objective lens. It's very small, so it lines up with the ocular lens of your telescope well.
Because the point I'm trying to get to is they have the P9000 or P1000, the camera that has the
60,
ultimate zoom.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I want to put those two together, see what we can see. Because here's my theory about aliens. People always describe them as big black eyes, right? Like just huge.
Not the ones I met, but go ahead.
Well, I want to hear about the ones you met, but this is just my theory that I've had since I was a kid, that the pupils of their eyes are so huge, like a lens on a telescope. It's not the length of the lens, it's the width of the lens to allow the more light in, so you can see, deeper into dimensions. Because you've heard people talk about how they're talking to an alien and they'll ask them, where are you from? And they know where to point and look directly, because their pupils are so big, they can see that far out and see their home solar systems and whatnot. It's just a theory. But also, like, someone who's on ayahuasca or hallucinogens, mushrooms or something like that, their pupils open up and they're able to see on a higher light spectrum than they normally would on any daily day. So I love night vision. I love being able to see further than we're able to do. So the fact that you're putting this into the event, I mean, I know it's your business, you do it all the time, but incorporating it, I'm just so stoked on doing that.
Well, having 200 to 300 people seeing what I'm seeing through the goggles at the same time, you can't do that with goggles, because by the time you would hand 10 pairs of goggles around,
it's gone.
Whatever you're looking at is gone.
Right.
By the way, you touched on something that I want to go ahead and comment on, because you touched on it and brought it up.
Okay.
I have a first in July of 2001. I'm a first-hand contactee with 3 8-foot, very white, slightly blue extraterrestrials.
Wow.
And while their eyes were about 25% larger than mine, they weren't black. They were very powdery blue with a white center.
Interesting.
And they informed me with a visual that they were from the Crux constellation, the Southern Cross. Didn't tell me what star, didn't tell me what planet, but they definitely made very clear that they were from the Southern Cross constellation.
And that's a constellation that we're aware of.
That's basically the Southern Hemisphere's version of our North Star, because it points to the south.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that moment that someone will talk about a star system, and then we're getting a call from the high ups going, 3 people on the planet know about that constellation. How'd you hear about it? Kind of like the movie K-Pax with Kevin Spacey.
I could drop a few of those kinds of names at the conference, but I won't do it here on camera.
Okay, well, absolutely. That, there you go, people. More reason to head out to the event. And it's not this weekend, it's the following weekend.
Right.
The 13th and the 14th. So, plan your trip, folks, road trip. Let's all go to Sedona and let's have a good time.
What could go wrong in Sedona, right? It's beautiful.
Right. Yeah. It's a love and peaceful place. I don't know how anybody could get riled up in Sedona. I don't think you hear about bar fights in Sedona.
No, and it's 10 minutes from end to end, so there's no time for road rage.
Right. Yeah, I think I've seen one traffic jam. It was because there was a little bit of an accident in one of the roundabouts, but it's a beautiful place. And anytime I'm there, I like to get a little hike of some sort, whether it's, up a mountain or, down the street. It's beautiful there. So now you want to tell people where it's going to be and what we got in store for that weekend?
It's a 2-day event. The first day is open at about 9:00 in the morning. The first speaker is at 10. Everybody gets 55 minutes, so it's an hour of time for each speaker coming in and out. We're booked from 10 in the morning till 6 at night on speakers with a lunch break. Lunch is being available by Moondog's Pizza, which is the best, coolest pizza place in Sedona.
Yum.
The event is up on Airport Mesa, which is interesting because when I first got my pilot's license in 1982, I used to fly from the Phoenix area up to Sedona just to sit in the restaurant and watch the red rocks change as the sun moved across the sky.
Oh, yeah.
And the town has changed a lot since 1982, I can tell you. But up on top of Airport Mesa, which means you get there by Airport Road, is this big building that we have got available for us to do this conference. And it's also on 4 acres of beautiful high desert property. So there's plenty of room outside and inside. We have a separate large room for the speakers and their audience. And then outside that, we have the conference room and conference area and vendor tables. And we have art and music and technology and all kinds of things available in the vendor room. And then after I'm done speaking, I'm going to do the live group UFO tour. So you're going to see on the big screen inside the building with the PA, I'll have a wireless mic on, and I'll be describing everything that's going on out there. And we'll have, by the way, there's some surprises. There may be a UFO that flies over. I wasn't supposed to mention that, but there might be a UFO that flies over, like close, like
Sweet.
Phoenix lights, that kind of thing, because it's the anniversary of Phoenix lights. So who knows what we'll see there. But after the group UFO, then the band Element 115, the band with the alien drummer. Look up Element 115, the band, if you've never seen them on .com online. The band, we opened up for the Alan Parsons and War show at Roswell UFO Festival in 2007. Wow. And then we headlined the whole 3-day event in 2008, and we live streamed our concert in 2008, mind you. Australia, Russia, Japan, all kinds of people were watching that. Wow. So that band is coming out. They haven't performed in 11 years. That band's coming out to do a great little concert. And then I have a band called One, where I play every instrument and utilize the video wall for all my background players and background vocalists, which are all versions of me. And we're going to be doing a classic rock dance because you know what? We've been locked up long enough. It's time to have some fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Dude, I'm kind of stoked.
And then on Sunday, and there's vending all day with all this amazing technology and jewelry and all kinds of things that'll be there for vending. And Sunday from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock, and I'm not sure exactly how lunch will break or whatever, all of us speakers and experiencers and researchers will be sharing a conference table, and we'll be able to ask each other questions while the audience listens. And then we open it up for the audience to ask any of us anything that they want to ask. Not that they'll necessarily get an answer, but they can ask.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. I mean,
and it's free admission. I mean, I think there might be a $5 parking, right? Yeah. And then, to get a slice of pizza in a water or a soda, it might be $5. Okay. Yeah. So what we're trying to do is number one, bring fun back to Sedona and for everybody. And then secondly, to get the information out to as many people as we can, because knowledge defeats fear. And without fear, you can reach your ultimate potential.
Right.
That's really what it's all about, folks.
And this planet has got an abundance of unnecessary fear. Fear is necessary, but there's a lot of unnecessary fear.
Well, when you see the train coming and you're stepping on the tracks at the moment and you see the train coming and you jump off out of the way, that's not fear. That's common sense.
Right. Yeah, it's hey, I wanted to ask you real quick, because you said we're gonna have vendors. You told me, of course, I could sell my book,
right,
my movie, whatever I want to sell. Of course,
whatever you want.
I have none of that. So,
but if you
I think I'm gonna just bring a couple 24 packs of Dr. Pepper and sign Dr. Peppers and take photos.
If that works for you, I mean, that's the only doctor I see. So
right.
I have, for instance, I have shirts, I have T-shirts that says "Ain't No Rona in Sedona."
Sweet.
I've got my book, "Wake Up and Do Something," which is the lyrics from my two Terranomaly band albums and the double and triple meanings and the ET influence and I'll have that, so, but there's a NASA air technology machine that's going to be there that people will be able to see and learn about.
NASA air machine.
Yeah.
Okay. Elaborate, please. You've piqued my interest.
So I wish that I had the brochure on it. It's coming in the next week, but from what I understand, it is not only a negative ionic generator, but also emits certain particles that are kind of like under Rife technology, under frequency, and they kill bacteria and things. In fact, they advertise that there can't be no Rona with this air cleaner going. So I want to learn more about that. Yeah.
So it's an air cleaner. Okay. Yes. All right. I just heard the air machine. I'm like, well, don't we have air? No, that's cool. So it's like kind of like a light thing with raised light.
I wish I knew all about it because I wouldn't have brought it up if I knew I was going to go into detail.
Oh, no. It's okay. We'll have to figure it out, at the event.
You see this wonderful, awesome.
Oh, is he going to be there?
This kind of art. Yes, John will be there.
Oh, I love John.
So
John's amazing.
He didn't know that he was making antennas for people until I, a missile systems engineer and satellite engineer, I saw it and I said, wait a minute, why are you making 800 megahertz to 2 gigahertz antenna for people? And he said, what? And I said, yeah, I recognize the quarter wavelength of those particular lengths, and that's about the frequencies they tune to. And then I realized when we started touring together that I could match people's frequencies, because I'm a sensitive. I could match people's frequencies to the individual amulets that these are. And then people have dreams and visions and all kinds of things because they're in tune.
Wow. Okay, because John had those at Disclosure Con.
Right.
And, I was just trying to make sure I didn't have to cover all the expenses. Because if I had more, I wanted to spend. That's what I like to do. If I make my money and I got profit, I'll go around every booth and I would buy something. I didn't have that much money this time.
I've certainly bought books.
Yeah. Yeah. I love getting books but John's jewelry, folks. If you haven't seen his stuff, I don't know the website off the top of my head right now. But if you can get to Sedona and see this stuff, bring a couple bucks. Because it's going to be worth it. And I kind of got the idea of it being an antenna crossed my mind, but it wasn't something I thought about because I thought he was doing a spiritual thing like a lot of those vendors do. They've got, pyramids and whatnot and crystals. They're trying to tune it. So I didn't even think of asking until you mentioned it. I'm like,
John didn't even know that he was doing that until I think it was 2 years ago, we got together at Cosmic Awakening Conference in Sedona. And that's the first time that, I knew he did jewelry, but I didn't really, look at it closely. And as I was standing over the case, because we were sharing a booth, as I was standing over the case looking at these things, my electronics mind kicked in and I realized what's going on. And I said, now you have to make one for me. You know, because now I know what it is and I need this particular frequency. And so I got this little tiny diamond here and this azul.
Wow.
Awesome
I actually have, oh my God, Oh my God, this all makes sense now. This all makes. Hold on one sec. Wait, hold on.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell people that his name is John Ferris, and you can find that out on Facebook. Just look up John Ferris, Farris, not like a Ferris wheel, but like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. John Ferris. And the jewelry is just, and he's making things all the time. He just made one that had like 7 gems in it. It was beautiful that he did for this lady that was she just emitted a frequency and he put it together. You should have seen what Kesha. John and I were at the American Music Awards last year, and we hung some of these around some pretty big famous stars' necks, and Kesha was one of them. And I happened to clear to catch video, because you have to have permission, with my iPad of him putting it around her neck. And when she looked at the camera as that was going around her neck, it was just priceless.
Wow. Yeah. Well, because you said what you said, and I didn't get to show this to John when he came, to Disclosure Con. And looking for flashlight. Crumbs. Do I not? I don't. I thought I had.
Rumor has it that John might be making some ET related jewelry for this event. So.
Well, let me see if I can. All right, I want everybody to buy an autographed Dr. Pepper and a photo selfie with me, $5. And I can give it to these guys. Because, here's the crazy thing. You ready for this, Michael?
Ready. I'm ready.
Oh my God, your name's Michael too. Oh my God, this is all crazy. When I was married, I was living in Oregon, and I was opening a nightclub, a computer, internet cafe, and a gaming center for kids, all in one building, right? And this drifter guy, young kid, really shaggy, Rasta hair, all that stuff. He wanted a job. And so we gave him a job, and he said his name was Michael, and he was an archangel, and he had a tattoo on his arm of the symbol of the archangel Michael. Mm-hmm. I'm just thinking, okay, all right, not fully sure of it, right? Well, then he ends up leaving town, but before he did, he made me this, and this is you're gonna trip out. Okay.
What? That looks like it's a meteorite.
It is, and that's why I'm looking for a flashlight. Maybe I'll have to just use the phone. Check this out. This is everybody. You're going to trip out on this. Where is flashlight? Here we go. No, I don't want to add extra program. Oh, these phones are so stupid. Here we go. On. There we go. You ready? Here's what he gave me. Make sure I get some focus. Come on, focus in. You just did it a second ago. All right. Oh, look.
It's got a high obsidian content.
Yes, it's kryptonite green, right? I call it my kryptonite. But what it is, it's a rock that when a meteorite hit the Earth, it shot all of this Earth matter into space, and then it did something to it, and then it came back in, and you can actually, if it would, there we go.
Yeah, nice.
See all the entry markings.
Mm-hmm.
But where'd the phone go? What did I do with the damn phone? It's all the way over here. I want to really let you see this. Come here. Come on, girl. Come on, focus. Oh, this isn't working it's easier with a flashlight, but it's like glass. And when I saw his stuff, I thought about it, but the next day, and he'll tell you, I was a nervous wreck during Disclosure Con. I was like running around like a chicken's head. Okay, so
I ran your board for you because nobody was there to run your board for you.
I do remember that, and I'm so grateful. Trying to put on a huge convention by one guy. So anyway, I meant to bring this in to show John, and now that you've mentioned the antenna, now here's the trippy part of the story. So he said, wear this close. So I wore it. And then he said, if you ever need me, think about me. He said to hold it and think about him. And he had disappeared for about a year. And I found it when we were moving. And I picked it up. And, of course, I thought of him. Shit, you not. Phone rang 2 minutes later. He goes, Thinking of me? I'm like,
Yep.
what? And I got scared. I hung up on him, man. It tripped me out. I was like, this is way beyond NSA. This is like spiritual. It just spooked me. Now I'm like, God, I wish you'd call me back. You know, like, call me Michael, you know, but yeah, I love this kind of, I love this kind of jewelry. And he did it, but he said he put the copper on there for a certain reason. And so you mentioned the antenna.
Yep.
And I knew it was something to focus the energy. So
it's copper and silver. So you got the copper on the one side and the silver on the other, and that provides it. So you've got a trap between the positive and negative ions there.
Wow, I need to start wearing it, but it's kind of awkward feeling. It's not symmetrical.
Yeah, this is kind of big too. But once you feel it, once it's on you, you don't see it. You just feel it. And everybody else gets to see it.
Yeah. So, but I am intrigued how you're talking about these frequencies. And is it the frequency? Is it how many times it's wrapped around the other wire?
No, it has to do. Well, it has to do with the coil, which is not wrapped quite as a Fibonacci coil, but it is definitely a recurring redundant decline in the diameter. So what you're going to get there is a vortex energy out of it. Now the frequency is probably going to be determined by your short coil length. So it looks like you've got about 3/16 to 1/4 of an inch on that. And so that's a 1 inch full wave. So you're talking about a gigahertz or so.
Wow. Because I do know for a fact, I was following Kesha Foundation from the very first day they went on the internet.
Yes.
And
GAN's technology. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And it was the same concept. You take a wire, but you would wrap it within itself and then you wind it around certain lengths and all that. And it has a coil going the opposite way of another coil, and boom, you have basically free energy, you know, with this coffee can machine.
There are a lot of ways to do free energy. And that's one of my specialties that I have dived into for decades, including designing and 3D printing my own HHO unit for running cars on water, and I've designed and built 3D printed my own magnetic motor. So very, very big on finding individual independent energy, individual independent health, individual independent ways of supplying your right to life.
Right, and it's I'm all for free energy and because it's just wars and all this other unnecessary crap comes from it.
Well, mankind's enslavement is pretty much from the pharmaceutical and petroleum industries, but that's probably a topic for another day.
Yeah, that's a whole, let's see. We got a bunch of chatter in the chat rooms, Facebook and the tube of you. And real quick shout outs, and then I want to go into the guests that are coming, minus me, of course. If the people don't know who I am and they're watching my show, well, hi, I'm Doc Skinner. There you go. So a lot of chatter. They're all talking to each other. Michael Senior Warner says, "Cool show, Doc." Let's see. I have to like read them, because if not, then I'm reading their conversations to each other. Dave Dennis from Australia says, Arizona has got to be one of the coolest places on earth when it comes to UFOs and aliens. You folks are lucky to live there. Yep.
Yes.
And Dave, you're going to be coming to visit soon once everybody's, not afraid to go places and stuff. So get your shots, I guess, if you want to get your shots. That's what everybody's doing, these days.
You're talking about free energy. I think it's important when you make major breakthroughs to give things away.
Right.
So you might have seen this guy before. He gave away the lightning rod.
Right.
To keep people's houses from burning up from lightning. And you see how he looks a little like me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's because I'm the reincarnation. So
really,
we may talk a little bit about that at the conference as well.
Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Well, let's see here. John Vatour, Terry Reesing, Renee Cruz, Audrey. Let's see, GBB. You're new. I don't recognize you, but welcome to the show. Appreciate you being here.
Med beds. I do know about med beds. In fact, one of your guys here, Dave Dennis.
Oh, Dave, yeah.
He says, "Hey, do you have any info on the med beds?" And Arcturus Ra, who lives here in Sedona. I met like almost the first week I came to Sedona. He and I both speak German, so that was kind of a thing that we hit it off right off the bat. He has developed a power-free, in other words, a non-electrical med bed, and has it here in Sedona.
Wow!
And you can reserve time. I might find a way to see if he can maybe bring one to the conference, and maybe we can see what happens with that.
Interesting. Yeah, I've just been told. I had a friend of mine, Lewis. He's a psychic, and he was telling me why I've had not necessarily an obsession with triangles, but they've just been with me all my life. And I always draw this one triangle with a portal, you know, and a path that kind of curves into space, and then there's a door at the end. You know, it's like a portal. And I've been doing that since I was like 6-7 years old. And he said, that's money. It's, you know, the triangle's also about money too. So yeah, money coming this year. So I'm supposedly, I've got to make some paintings of triangles and put them in all the rooms of my house. I don't know.
With Dr. Pepper cans. Oh, triangles with Dr. Pepper cans in the center.
There you go. There you go. I like it though. I mean, I'm a fan of Dr. Pepper. I just wish they were a fan of me and sponsor me. That'd make life a lot easier. Okay. All right. So we said our hellos. Dave's
You're welcome.
Valeria and the Mac, talking about third phase of moon energy. Yep. We are building some energy over there. Let's talk about, on Saturday is when the guests are going to be speaking. And, the first one you have is probably one of the most sweetest women. That's a ball of light. And, I just adore her immensely. It's Suzanne Ross.
Yes, and Suzanne, we first bumped into each other at your conference. As a matter of fact, she was late, and I had to kind of fill time until she showed up, as you recall.
Oh my God, that's right. That's right.
So yeah, Suzanne lives about 30 miles from me, and we had lunch the other day, and she showed me one of her books it's called Wake Up. And my book is called Wake Up and Do Something. And so already we're talking about, on similar paths. And so I knew she had to be at the conference. Yeah.
No, she's awesome.
Great lady.
I'm glad that all worked out. And those that don't know, she's the founder of the SCISPI.tv network, and she has a lot of shows. And one of them is with I'm totally tongue-tied. I mean, I'm like, the words are tied before I even can speak them. It's crazy. Antarctica, because it's a hard word for me to say. Antarctica by Sail with Brad Olson, which is one of the series on SciSpy.tv. And it's 22 episodes. And why am I pumping it? Well, because Brad's my friend. And 2, because I produced and directed the episode and did all the editing and all that fun stuff. I didn't get to go, but I got to edit it. So go check it out. It's really, really awesome. You'll probably hear more about it when she's speaking. And she's an author, written a whole bunch of things. She does spiritual work with people. She's awesome. Also, next one you have is Tom Dongo. You want to take this one?
Now, Tom has been in Sedona for about 30-something years, I think. About the time I started flying in with an airplane, that he was already here doing UFO-related things and related reporting. He's got quite a collection of knowledge and the trips that he's taken, discoveries that he's made, and I'm sure he'll have a hard time putting something that's comprehensive into 55 minutes, because the guy just has all kinds of information.
Right. Well, I studied at Berkeley, an International Psychic Institute. I didn't even know they had psychic institutes. Well, at Berkeley, actually, I stand corrected. Berkeley has the cool classes. They do like remote viewing.
Sure. Variety.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? That would be a fun trip, to go to Berkeley and just go straight to them, say, I want to see all the cool stuff. Take me to the Matrix lab. That's where I want to go. I want to see what cool stuff you're doing over at Berkeley. Let's see, books. So everybody's, do you think it's okay I sell Dr. Pepper cans? Because I got nothing.
I tell you what, you won't have any competition.
And I think it will be technically a first. I'm really big on always trying to be the first at something, and that might be the first. Yeah. And then Dr. Pepper.
You might be able to sell one at 10, 2, and 4.
Well, what if it got on the news and then it got to Dr. Pepper? Then maybe they would sponsor me. I don't know. All right, moving on. Jeff Willis, give me the 411, please.
Jeff Willis has been a friend of mine for, I would say, almost 30 years, or maybe a little more than 30 years. He was the guy who was out there, didn't ever seem to have a job, but always had a camera. And he was taking video. He's got something like 3 hours of footage of UFOs.
Wow.
And he goes to where they are and he finds a way to shoot them. And most of his stuff isn't photographs. Most of his stuff is videos.
Wow.
During Phoenix Lights, he was one of the people in our network when we all got notified that the ships were flying in. By the way, Phoenix Lights wasn't just a boomerang. It was 42 craft. They came 42. In from the east, from Apache Junction, from the west of Yuma, from the northwest Prescott, from the north Flagstaff. They came in from all over. Balls of light, saucers, triangles. There was a plethora of spacecraft, similar almost to Close Encounters.
Wow.
But the focus was on the absolutely huge boomerang ship, which the next night the military dropped flares over South Mountain and tried to say that that's what it was. But
yeah, because I knew that there was also incidences the night before as well in certain areas.
Yeah. They all met at South Mountain, and South Mountain's real name is Sierra Estrella, Mountain of the Stars. And in 1965, I think it was, my parents moved to Tempe. And I was there, of course. And so about 6 years old, we all climbed, because they were big into archaeology and anthropology. So we climbed South Mountain, and I saw petroglyphs of spirals and ship-shaped things and unusual shaped people that they were being drawn. So I think that probably the Sinawa or Anasazi, whatever was living there at the time, that they just wrote what they saw. And so I think the South Mountain's been a portal for probably more than 700 years.
Something that I wanted to do last year, but I had so much going on with Disclosure Con. I think I would like to attempt it this next October. Crossing fingers, Disclosure Con happens. And that is, I have a doctor friend that owns, I think, like 200 acres on the Navajo borderline.
Wow.
And they own the only private box canyon in the state of Arizona. And there are hieroglyph or alien glyphs in that canyon. And he's offered me a tour of it. But one circumstance or another, I was busy or whatever, the bad weather. But I would like to do something next Disclosure Con where the speakers come out like a day early and we take a little exploration out to that property and bring our cameras, just a few of the speakers and researchers like yourself, right. And set our eyes on something that not many people have seen.
Well, the great thing about getting people who are into ufology, a lot of times they're also sensitive. There was a group that I was a part of, my wife and I were both a part of in Phoenix called the Inner Circle. And we went out to find stories that were covered up by the government and expose them. And we found Kincaid's Cave at the Grand Canyon, brought Fox 10 TV out to shoot where it was that we found it. The chemtrail story in 1997, I broke on talk radio in Phoenix. So we were looking to always try and find the things that were covered up. When Turret Mountain went off and created an artificial snowstorm in Scottsdale in, I think, 99 or 2000, we knew where it happened, what happened. Jeeps went out and their Humvees actually went out and their engines died, or they had flat tires, and all kinds of things were going on as they were trying to get to where this machine is out there that's basically a weather altering, kind of like a HARP that's hidden in the Arizona desert.
Wow. Yeah, I do know. We've got our share of conspiracy things up here on the mountain. Of course, we have
Travis.
Travis, yeah.
Yeah.
Travis is.
I wish Travis would come. I would want him to come just to play guitar. I want to play guitar with him.
I did actually. I relayed that message for you.
Yeah.
I did.
Did you?
So yeah, I did. I talked to Luke the other day. I said, pass this on Dad. So hey, guess what? We just received 100 messages so far with this show. So thank you everybody for jumping in the chat room and chatting. Now, Dave Dennis had a question. Says, or was it a question? No, it was a comment. No, there was somebody new, and I wanted to make sure I got them. Jay Breezy 007. Now, this is funny. He talks about how Kurt Russell, the actor, reported the Phoenix Lights while he was flying his son to college. Were you aware of that?
Yes, I did read that story. He was the only one that saw it from the air that talked about it, apparently.
Well, it talked about, yes, because my father, who flew for Southwest Airlines, was coming into harbor when that happened. And he didn't talk much after that about that. But
they like to keep their jobs as pilots. That's really what it boils down to, unfortunately.
Yeah. When he was alive, he told me about one time how he was offered a job, paid real good. And I said, well, why didn't you take it? He goes, because it's, you go fly for 2 weeks and you get 2 weeks off. But if you don't come back from that 2 weeks, nobody knows where you were. I'm like, oh, well, yeah, stay with Southwest Airlines, Dad. So, that's
not a bad gig.
Yeah.
Being an ATP. Yeah.
Right. And while I'm sorry, I'm fiddling right now, but I wanted to also show you this one real quick.
And that's spooky.
Wait, hold on. It's like a microscope going the opposite way. But damn it, there we go. Yeah, this is my little alien dude.
A snake head and an alien head all in one.
Right, and it's it's a rock. But anyway, so I was fiddling with that. I was like, I'm going to show him. All right, so we talked about your friend, and then Jeff Willis. He's the one with all the cool footage. He was also on. This is what was cool. I talked about this on. I've been pumping every night on the show, by the way, about this, talking about the people. So that's why I'm like, did I already read his bio? No, or was that last night? But this one, I do like to point out that Jeff Willis, his videos, he was co-creator of UFO Road Trip, which became the History Channel show UFO Hunters.
Right.
And his footage has been featured in many programs, including the History Channel's Ancient Aliens, Disney's Race to Witch Mountain, which I think that's pretty freaking cool. I want to go back and watch to see what it was that he threw in there. And the fact that he's got to work with Dan Aykroyd's on my wish list for guests. I'm just going to say that right now. But he got to be on Dan Aykroyd's Unplugged on UFO and many, many other things. So that's pretty cool.
If I was ready to do the file share, I would show you a picture of Dan Aykroyd holding my Element 115 band's music video case, because he and I had a chance to meet about 10 years ago.
Sweet. Yeah, I really would just be honored to have him on the air. I mean, I've had some celebrities on my shows, but that would be one of the gems in my cap kind of thing, to just talk with him. I mean, I jumped up giddy like a little schoolgirl with a camera in my hand, filming Jim Goodall in my living room or my dining room. And Jim's on the phone, a speakerphone with Bob Lazar. And he's like, yeah, we're recording this thing for this video for Third Phase. I'm hanging out with my friend, Doc Skinner. And I'm like, oh my God, Bob Lazar heard my name, So anyway, where were we going? I got all distracted with that. There you go. Have you seen the new?
This is where I got the idea for the name of the band, Element 115. And if anybody looks up element115theband.com, you can see our alien drummer and my lovely wife on bass and the whole band. It was really a really fun time. But we got the idea because of this video right here.
Right. That's awesome. Have you seen the new movie?
I have. I was one of the people that got to see the preview.
Sweet. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay. GBB says it's so bizarre that there are over 7 billion people on this planet, and well, I think there's more than that, but yeah. No, he's right. Yeah, 7 billion. It should be like 7.5 or something. There are only 12 people watching one of the most important topics there is, oh, GB, that is actually a very kind compliment, the way you said that. 7 million people, and there's only 12 important people watching this. Thank you so much. I get that. All right. So we're going to skip me. People, if they're watching, they know who I am. The next guest you got at your event is Lori D. Wheeler.
Yes.
She had a whole bunch of letter abbreviations, and I was like, are those medical or what? But 25 years experience in whatever it is. So could you explain to me what it is she does?
Lori is involved in a variety of things, so many things. She's written books and done lots of TV visits, and she runs people to tours, mostly in the Western United States, but also elsewhere, exposing some of the more fascinating hidden secrets of places. I think that she and her husband Bob they came by, swung through Sedona, borrowed some night vision goggles, and took people over to Dwayne Ollinger's place, the Black Frog Ranch, which is right next to Skinwalker Ranch. And she's going to be talking a bit about that. She's also very, very spiritual and going to be doing a spiritual meditation for all of us.
I'm confused with some research from what I was reading earlier. So she's also at the Frog Ranch?
She takes tours to it.
Oh, okay. I thought it was Dwayne Ollinger because he's the owner, right, of the Blind Frog Ranch.
Right.
Okay. Because I got a little confused there. I was like, well,
in fact, Dwayne contacted me through her. She's the one that let him know about the event so that he wanted to be part of it too.
Fantastic, because I have some questions for him.
Where's
really,
the gold, Dwayne?
Well, I just want to hear the experiences, from the people that are there. I was invited to go to Skinwalker Ranch through another guy named Ryan Skinner. No relation, by the way. And that fell through because Skinwalker Ranch was purchased, and then they turned it into like this TV show on the History Channel or something like that. I think they were working on. And Gus was like this close to going there and spending the night. I was so excited. And then I got offered the opportunity to go to Stardust Ranch here in Arizona. But I got to hurry. I'm hoping I can still do that in the next couple months because he's planning on selling the place. He's like, I've been battling aliens and dimensional portals for years. It's time to move on. So, wow. Anybody who's interested, there you go. I just gave you an inside tip. So cool. All right. So she's done that and she gives tours and how often, go ahead, continue with her. I'm sorry.
No, it's the primary thing that she's going to be doing is sharing the experiences that she's had taking people on tours to these harder to get to places where things happen. And then she's going to help tune the whole room for us to use the heart to put out the message to the world to increase our frequency and do for each other and all the wonderful stuff she does. You have to be there for that.
Excellent. All right. The next person is who we just mentioned, Dwayne. Am I saying his last name correct? Ollinger,
I believe.
So that's a J, not Inger. Okay.
So. Yeah.
Okay. Ollinger. All right. Because I hate walking up. I did that to somebody 6 months ago, and I just saw them at this funeral this past weekend, and they saw me, and I just waved them over. I was like, I've been feeling bad for 6 months because I called you this guy's name instead of your name. And I was like, dude, it's all good. But that's the guilt. So I want to make sure Ollinger is how you say it when I meet him.
I'm sure Dwayne will work. You don't have to do the Mr. Ollinger thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
he's pretty laid back.
Cool. All right. So he owns Blind Frog Ranch.
Right.
And that is next to Skinwalker Ranch. And this is in Utah for people that don't know, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. And how long have you known him?
Oh, I haven't had a chance to even meet him yet. It was through, Lori that said, I know this guy here and he would be a really awesome speaker at your event. So I'm getting a first chance to meet him at the event as well. We just wanted the people that have the most experience and the most, technology or the most understanding or the most, and he's one of them because the stuff flies over his ranch all the time from Skinwalker.
Oh, I'm sure. Dave Dennis says, have you met James Gilliland, Michael?
Jim Gilliland. Yeah, Jim and I
Jim Gilliland.
almost always are posted right next to each other when we do these conferences, because he has night vision and I market night vision as well. So we almost always get posted within 10 or 15 feet of each other. So yeah, we've had a chance to meet each other a lot of times. Good guy, awesome. His tour is different than mine in many aspects, but one of them is that it's further out and away from other electromagnetic and energetic influences. So where I take people out on tour, maybe 50 or 60 feet away, there may be some people there that are not part of our tour and are not part of our energy. When Jim takes people out there to Skinwalker or whatnot, it's like you're a mile from anybody that could have a fear frequency or something. So there's a better chance of being able to contact and bring down entities out there than there is in Sedona.
There was a question earlier, and I let it scroll by. I don't remember who asked, so I apologize. But they wanted to know from you, Michael, do you think – hold on. I sound so quiet. There we go. Do you think that we will have disclosure like in the next year or so?
Disclosure's been going on. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of it that came out, and then our entire – shall we say, communication distribution system has been compromised. So until we get that fixed, the only way that things like this are going to get out is through the conferences that I'm doing and other people are doing, whether it's UFO, ET related, or disclosure by any other means. It's the independents that are making this happen because the powers that be just don't want you thinking about that. They want you to be afraid and in your room and watching your TV. You know?
It's part of it's their agenda. Yeah, exactly. It's what they want. And a lot of people will disagree with, what I read at the very beginning of the show about Texas being 100% mask free, no mandates, because people were told that this epidemic or pandemic or whatever you want to call it was supposed to be 14 days and it spread and spread.
14 months.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And people are going insane. I've lost people because of it.
I'm a numbers guy. I'm a math guy, and I look at the final total. And if you look at the final total for 2020 of how many people died in America, and the final total for 2019 and 2018 and 2017 and 2016 and 2015, they're all within about 50,000 of each other, and 2020 wasn't the worst. Okay, so if all these people are in such a bad way, why aren't they showing up on the U.S. death toll? So my thing is, look, we've gotten sick, every 5 to 10 years with some sort of flu bug or thing, right? And we get over it 3 days later. So, it's really not unless you're 85 and you're suffering from emphysema and cancer, and this happens to be the bad thing. It could be a flu, it could be a common cold, it could be an infected tooth. All kinds of things could kill people. Yeah. And for example, I don't want to go into too much more time on this, but in 2019, there were 40,000, 44,000 deaths from the flu. Officially, this last year, 409 people died from the flu. Mm-hmm. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Next.
Well, yeah, that can be a whole other show, but we're getting up to the end point here in a minute, but let's see. I really do. I've always said I asked that question because that's what was asked in the chat room.
No,
but I've always known that disclosure has always been happening, but it's the intensity has increased over the years through media, through entertainment, books, storytelling, whatever, to where there's this huge, massive fear. So something like this is great, getting people together and like you said, using the heart energy to, help heal this world. And the fact that, somebody close by that's living in fear, that's out in the middle of the desert by themselves, where they got 4 masks on and a biochemo suit. Okay. Yes. That energy is a little too much in my opinion, folks. Okay.
Well, and certainly just looking at it purely scientifically, mathematically, metaphysically, having that energy congealing with energies of people who are in sync trying to do something like bring down an entity, an ET entity, it throws distortion. It's like it's supposed to be a clean signal, but somebody turned the Marshall up to 10.
Yeah.
It's just distorted, and you can't achieve what you want to achieve.
Yeah. Well, that's so true. And what it makes me think of is, have you seen the movie The Celestine Prophecy?
Oh yeah, read the book twice and saw the movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's one of the few movie/books that read them both and more than once, gave them as gifts. I used to buy the Celestine Prophecy DVD and like give them away, because I'm a visual person, and I don't see auras, on the norm, but I can visualize in my mind the aura of people. Like a dog can look at somebody and know if they're good or bad, right?
Yeah. Right.
I kind of have that ability too. I just don't see the cool rainbow colors around the person. It's like I just know. And it's kept me out of a lot of trouble and, possibly, end of my life in certain cases.
Believe your gut, because it's telling you. Yeah.
Right. So, where was I going with this? Oh yeah. So the fact, in the movie, The Celestine Prophecy, you see the new guy. He's at this South American, not resort, but like a sabbatical place, like up in the jungle, right? Mm-hmm. A meditation place. And he's that city folk guy, right? You learn that when you move to a mountain from being in the city all your life, and you move to the mountain, it's a whole other world, right?
Yes.
And so here he is at this it's a metaphysical place, home, retreat, metaphysical retreat. There you go. That sounds good. And he sees this beautiful woman who's one of the characters in the film or the story. And she's sitting there just reading, and she has this beautiful, I don't remember what color, but it was a beautiful aura around her. And he goes up trying to be, Rico Suave. And you see, this is the first time in my life that I was like, finally someone could show what I feel in me when I'm with people. You see his aura encompassing her, like engulfing her, and she's retreating, and her aura is standing back. It was the craziest thing. And then it made me think about emotional vampires. People that love, and I was one of these people, Michael. I mean, when I lived in the city in Texas, and that's why I was like, I got to get away. It makes you these horrific people, short-tempered, ill-willed, always in a rush. Everything's about you, blah, 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 in a concrete jungle. You're never grounded in a concrete jungle.
I call that the heart being out of phase.
Right.
You want
I
the
agree.
Heart in phase, and then those auras, red and a blue becomes purple instead of fighting each other.
Well, it was the first time I saw what I would try to explain to friends and family, and they're like, "You're crazy." Like, somebody else gets it. And so, I always make it an effort now that when I'm around people, because I was a very overbearing person. I mean, like, I'm in charge. I was a control freak, very nice guy, but that was one of my issues. And, I was, I don't know, when have you ever gotten really angry, Michael? Like past the red line where there's like point of no return, you've crossed the line kind of, have you ever been there?
Well, the one real fight I got into in my life was I got so angry that I was walking through a Jack-in-a-Box patio, and that was nighttime, and this girl was at a table, and these three guys were at another table, and they were making very rude comments.
Mm-hmm.
And I just couldn't hold it any longer, and I looked over and I said, stop saying that stuff. And of course, then they decided they were going to get all macho. And without going into much detail, at that age, I think I had already gotten my third or fourth black belt. The three of them were laying on the ground because they did stupid things, and there was a cop there because it was a high school. There was a nearby high school homecoming that was going on, and this cop walked over to me, and he said, "Did you do that?" As he's pointing to these guys that are laying on the ground, and I said, "Yeah, they were being very rude to this girl." And he put his hand on my shoulder. He said, "I've been waiting all night for somebody to do that."
That's awesome.
So yeah, I have been pushed there, but it's very difficult because I'm a student of Sun Tzu, and I think that the way that you win a battle is to have that person fighting at your back, protecting you as you're protecting them at the end of the day. So
right. Yeah. Well, I unfortunately wasn't a very Zen individual. And where I was trying to go with this, with the whole energy, and this is why I'm really excited about what you guys are going to be doing, because I was the bad guy in some cases. Okay. And I've learned to get rid of that bad guy, except when I go back to Texas, to the city. Nothing against you, Texas. It's just when I get back to the city, it's just like,
it's a whole different energy. The White Mountains. Look, I've been where you live too, and I used to go fishing in the 70s at Reservation Lake. Okay, so I mean, it is a most awesome, peaceful, wonderful place to be, and it's got this Native American feel, of course, also that really hasn't ever gone away. It's like when Paul Revere and the Raiders sang Indian Nation, I thought of White Mountains.
Yeah.
So when you go from there to the city, it's a whole different set of frequencies. It's a whole different amplitude. It's a whole different phase of everything.
And that's where I'm trying to get to, is when I'm there, I just get so angry so quick, so easily. And, I notice it now, but when I lived there, me and my whole family, everybody I knew, that's how we all were. High strung. Everything's an issue. Everybody's always screaming and hollering. And it was just, I'm like, I was one of these people.
And everything has to be done in 1 minute.
I know. Yeah. Everything's, and so I realized when I moved, after living here for a while, that I was one of these assholes that would come in and lose my shit probably over something stupid. But because I made that scene, it's like, whatever, go past the red line, the point of no return. It's like, might as well go all out, right? So you go out and start breaking stuff, or your face gets all demon and the veins are popping in your forehead, and
it's so not good for your soul.
It is so not. Yeah, I know, but I'm saying this is how it used to be, and but here's the kicker. A lot of people go, why do people act like that? Okay. I'm going to tell a lot of you a secret that some of you may not know about people that have anger issues. And then you may think of them as a emotional vampire. There is a point when you cross that red line, and I'm speaking from experience, okay, personal experience, so it's not bullshit. You get to a point where you're so angry that if you do that emotional vampire where you're like hovering over somebody and yelling at them and going, "You're an idiot," there's something about it that's like a high. Okay. And a lot of people don't realize that there's like a runner can have a runner's high. And when you are, it's kind of like you see in the movies when the wizard is going, zzz, and they're like draining the life force out of somebody. It's real. And I think, Mike, am I wrong on saying that? There is a reality to this.
There's certainly, if people know about Baal or Moloch, certainly this goes back a long, long time, especially with children, and that's
scaring
where,
them to get the adrenochrome.
Right. Well, yeah, exactly.
And that's why monsters, why you always see them, instead of just eating the person, they always growl in their face, because it's getting their emotion and their and their not vibe, their energy to that frequency. Keep going. I love this stuff. I'm sorry I'm talking, but they've been things I've wanted to say for a long, long time. I've just never had that opportunity.
Well, there was a interesting maneuver that happened a couple of years ago on Wilshire Boulevard in Los Angeles at midnight, where a hazmat dressed team came down and went into the producer's building and pulled out some boxes and vials and computers. And my intel is that was Adrenochrome Distribution Center.
Wow. And that's the thing.
They landed the helicopters on frickin' Wilshire Boulevard between the palm trees. Blackhawks.
Yeah, I've seen that video. Yeah. And I have been told they even saved a couple kids, supposedly, not just boxes, but there's so much out there. And the people that say that the slavery and the child, all that underground stuff doesn't happen.
Well, you want your mind really blown? If you know about what's going on Earth, it's going on 10 times worse on Mars. That's part of the ET UFO disclosure kind of thing that somebody might just talk about that. Now remember, if you're at the conference on Sunday, all you out there who might show up at this, that questions from 10 to 2, questions can be about anything from any of the members on the panel. So if you want to know about things that are maybe that didn't get covered earlier, that would be a good time to bring them up. Let's find out what people know.
Yes. That's why I love these events and doing Disclosure Con, because these speakers are usually people that others will get to follow and watch. But they never really get to have that personal interaction.
Right.
And that's why I love these kind of events, because these people I get to say hi. Not just, right. I love all my people. Where is that?
Well, that's an interesting ring. Hey, everybody. He's not looking right now. Yes, okay. Dave, you're absolutely right. Loosh is the frequency, the energetic frequency that's put out from fear. And that's as this last group who was in power was breaking down the child trafficking circles and freeing the children, they counteracted on a global scale with this fake-demic to create fear everywhere. A little fear everywhere is as powerful as a lot of fear in a few places.
Right.
So all this fear that was created Loosh because certain entities are starving because we've been taking away their source of food.
Yeah. Sorry. CEO's messaging me. It's like the bat line, but I'll call her in a bit. This is a subject that I would love to really go into. Not that I love.
Next Disclosure Con. Next Disclosure Con, bring me up. We'll talk about this stuff.
I would like to, because I don't know if you knew. You were at the second one. Were you at the first one?
I wasn't at the first one. No.
Okay, the first one we had a special appearance that was not planned. It wasn't a speaker or anybody. It was just somebody that came to the event. And I wasn't even aware of their existence until the public found out, the underground, the Q community found out about it later. But Vincent Fusco was at the first Disclosure Con.
No kidding.
And he was checking out the 4 foot by 6 foot Q map that we had done by Dylan Monroe.
Right.
And then last year at Disclosure Con, the second one, we had the Buffalo head guy from the Capitol building.
Right.
He I thought he was part of the costume contest. I didn't know that was his normal outfit.
Who knew?
So I know. So
it's like what he's spying on, what exactly he's gathering, what data he's gathering.
Yeah, I always leave an empty table at Disclosure Con somewhere for the NSA and the CIA. I don't want them to think that they're not welcome, because I know they're going to be there. Give them a chair. They got to sit down. They're on their feet all day.
I'll tell you something. The second most important piece of information that I got from the download, my face-to-face download with the 3 ETs, is this translation. Now, everything was given to me visually, and I translated it into English. It goes like this. There's no such thing as a benevolent species. There's no such thing as a malevolent species. There's good and bad in all groups, all species, all organizations, all colors of people, all sizes of people, all dogs and cats. There's good ones and bad ones, that and levels of good and bad. in all of them. So you have to not judge anybody or anything based on what they look like, where they've been, or what country they came from, what religion they are. You have to look at the deeds that they specifically do. And you'll find sometimes just the most amazing, wonderful person when your mind, the first thing it wants to do is shut it off. But
yeah, the cognitive dissonance. Yeah. Well, sir.
About that time?
I mean, we're a little bit past it, but that's okay. We started a little late anyway. This is fun, and I'm so looking forward to hanging out with you in your stomping ground. You came to my insanity. Now I'm going to come to your serenity.
Let's
in Sedona. Yes,
running a conference, a serenity. Oh yeah, I wish.
Maybe senility. We'll try to hold on to our senility.
There you go.
Wait, senility. Does that mean we're crazy or not crazy? I say the wrong word sometimes. But that shows everybody I don't have a teleprompter. Right. So, well, cool. So let's just tell everybody again. Let me pull up the page so everybody can see the flyer. I can't do that. Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
He's going to figure it out. Yeah, I'm going to talk about it.
There you go. Hey, and we're all there. Okay, so there it is. Go ahead and
so it's called the Sedona UFO sightings, and you can find data at SedonaUFOsightings.com. And it's the 13th and 14th, Saturday and Sunday, at the Sedona Airport in Mesa. There will be signs up there to guide you around the road to the meeting building. And there's going to be food, variety of kinds, maybe some food trucks with some ice cream things. I don't know who all will be there. But the speaking is going on from 10 in the morning till 6 in the evening on Saturday, followed by the group UFO tour, followed by the Element 115 concert, followed by the one dance, and then Sunday from 10 to 2 is the panel discussion. And that's going to be just as cool, really.
Awesome. Dude, I'm stoked. I mean, one, get to come to Sedona. It's always fun in Sedona. Right, and I'm really looking forward to playing with your toys. I can't wait to see what real night vision looks like. I'm really, really stoked about that. And to see what happens and what might come across our skies that night. Oh, and I did want to ask this. I don't know if we're going to have Wi-Fi out there or not. If not, it's cool. I can record. But I would like to maybe during the day, when people aren't speaking, if they want to stop by for like 5 minutes and do a little interview with them, if that's cool.
I'm going to have a step and repeat with a green screen.
Oh, okay.
And video camera set up the whole time. People can step aside and give us maybe their encounter information they've gotten from the time you were a kid and never talked about it, or who knows?
Right.
All be recorded from multiple angles, multiple cameras, because this is all part of my pilot episode of Sedona UFOs.tv.
Awesome sauce. Well, I just realized I just put everybody watching the show into infinity with a camera. Sorry about that. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of you that can make it to Sedona, not this weekend, the following weekend, 13th, 14th. And it is absolutely free. Now, you do have to get your food and drinks and your hotel and all that. But, you're not paying huge fees for entrance, which is normally what happens when you got big speakers. So come out, meet us. I'll sign a Dr. Pepper for you. And we'll have some fun. Also, real quick, who was it that just said this? Dave Dennis says, nothing happens by accident. I think the whole pandemic thing is that's earlier in the show. Sorry. That was an old message. JR said, you look a bit pale. Maybe a good steak would help. Just a thought. Well, you're probably right, but I do have a lot. I have like 4 lamps shining down on me, so I should change the color temperature on them. Kind of give me a little more color, but was having tech issues tonight. Well, I'll get that. Eventually, I'll get a studio again, and I'll have like a team of people that will be willing to work for free, you know, and have the show going again. So other than that, Michael, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight and talking about all this. And I would like to have you come back after the event, because I know you're saving some of the, you know, the really good stuff for the event. But after the event, if you want to come back and kind of, you know, spill the beans on a few things that you did at the event, I would love to have you.
And more.
Excellent. Excellent. And folks, he's so much for hanging out. And oh, he just jumped off. Okay. So anyway, I want to say thanks to Michael O'Sedona for dropping in tonight and putting this event together, because I'm really excited. I normally have to put them on, so it's kind of nice someone else to do it and asking me to come. I'm really, really stoked about that. So I hope to see as many of you as possible there, not this weekend, but next weekend in Sedona. And I want to meet a lot of you. I want to physically shake your hand, say hello, how are you? Because we need to. We need human contact. I do. I'm just saying it right now. So everybody that's in the chat room, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Chris Furness, hello. JR, hello. Terry's always so faithful. Thank you so much, dear. GBB. Hey, all of us should look at the sky. Oh, of course, we should. I'm actually going to go outside here in a minute with my psionics just to kind of take a scan of the sky. Also, remember, folks. I don't have I had all these cool videos and transitions all set up, and I'm not using that system. So I just have to say goodnight. But before I do, you know me, king of long goodbyes. So let's get it going. My name is Doc Skinner, and this is 1028 Live Reborn. Broadcasting from my bunker here in the beautiful White Mountains of Arizona in these United States, as of still, thank God, on this big round planet we call Earth. Sorry, flat earthers. Traveling and hurtling through space, chasing a gigantic ball of fire through the cosmos. Until next time, my friends worldwide, this is Doc Skinner saying good night. And remember, as long as we all lift each other up, we'll what? That's right. We will all rise together. Good night, everybody. Doc Skinner, I'm out looking for the end button. Here it is. Ciao bella.